What is up, hooligans? And happy freedom. Welcome to another episode of Coffee with Hooligans, where we try to make the news suck a little less. I appreciate all of you guys being here. If you're over on Rumble, please hit that like button. More likes equals more hooligans. Holy, another shitty day. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. I can't have one good day. If I had one good day, I'd die of a fucking heart attack. I just got 2 doses of bad news. So sick of being alive. Okay, so we will be starting off with the video. Well, first, we got President Trump live, 7 p.m. Eastern Time tonight. It's titled President Trump Addresses the Alfred E. Smith Memorial Foundation Dinner in New York City. Like I said, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Then we have a long list of news to go through, but before we do, I want to remind you guys really quick. If you would like to join the website, right now is the time to do it. Go get yourself a membership for jeffmaclive.com. That way you can watch today's live. You can post in Hooligans Alley. Plus, you'll be able to hang out with all the hooligans Fridays, 6 p.m. Eastern Time for our voice chat, which is a lot of fun. So definitely go get yourself a membership for jeffmaclive.com. We'll be starting off with kind of an announcement. BLM says Sidney Wilson was unjustly killed by a racist cop. And if you guys want to see that video, you're going to have to go to Discord or jeffmaclive.com in order to see it. I just realized I didn't post it, so I'm going to have to post it really quick. But I can't show it to you on the live because you're literally watching somebody get shot to death. As much as I'd love to show you that, I can't. So I will be posting that on Discord and JeffMac Live at some point throughout this live. I just got to find it again, but either way, that's where you'll have to go to see it. We'll be starting off with a video titled Biden accidentally says that President Trump doesn't want to beat Kamala Harris again in a debate. It's kind of an accident, but it's not an accident because that's exactly what happened. Then we got a video titled Should Schools Be Allowed to Hit Students? These Republicans say yes. Now, that whole title is propaganda bullshit, but they're talking about paddling kids in school, which used to be a thing, and apparently in certain states, it still is, which I think is really, really crazy. Anyways, then we got two videos from, well, we got more than 2 videos, but we got 2 videos in a row, back to back with JD Vance. The first one's titled, JD Vance asked for comment about threats against FEMA workers. Apparently there was an individual that made threats against some FEMA agents or something like that. I don't know a whole lot about it, but I did see that that individual apparently does have an interview, but I didn't get a chance to grab it before I set the schedule up. So tomorrow we'll probably have the interview from the individual who was threatening FEMA workers. Then we got another JD Vance video. It's titled, Don't Give Up. The American Dream Will Become Affordable Again. Some speeches or little clips from his speeches where he's doing rallies and whatnot. Then we have a video titled Protesters Demand That Kellogg Remove Coloring Dyes from Cereals, talking about how certain kind of food dyes are causing behavioral problems in kids. Like a lot of people think that, I don't know what it is, red 3 or red 5 or something makes kids act like they have ADHD and all this other stuff. I don't know, but I know that's kind of what Bobby Kennedy wants to do. He wants to make America healthy again, and this is kind of right on that path. Then we have a video titled Lefties Losing It. TV hosts react to idiot TikToker vandalizing flag display. It's a plethora of idiots. Then we have a video titled Touchdown Tim accused of inappropriate relationship with students. The last couple days you guys have been asking me about this, and I found a pretty cohesive video explaining a little bit about that, and apparently there's going to be more information coming out about Touchdown Timmy. Then we have a video titled Harris Caught in Gotcha Moment during her interview. I watched almost the whole interview today. I actually forgot that we were considering watching it yesterday. I got wrapped up in some other stuff. But either way, I watched almost the whole interview today, and it was worse than watching the press briefing. She didn't answer anything at all. She just sounded like an idiot. So we got a couple clips from it that were worth watching, or they are worth watching. Then we have a video titled JD Vance gives his opinion on Harris's Fox interview. Then we got the last little bit of our news titled, remember when I was telling you guys that elderly people are being taken advantage of when it comes to voting? We got a video of that. Now, it's not a woman in an old folks home, or at least I don't think that's the situation. It seems like the person coercing this elderly woman into voting for Harris is some sort of family member, but the way that it's being done is very much the same way that nurses are forcing elderly people to vote for certain candidates in old folks' homes. So if you got 100 people in an old folks' home, chances are 100 of them are going to vote for Harris because the nurses feel that way. The reason I say that is because we lost all the good nurses. Good nurses, good doctors, good military, good cops, good firefighters, good EMTs. They're all gone because they were mandated to take the vaccine. They didn't want the vaccine, so they were forced to leave. Now we're stuck with a bunch of fucking woke people. So keep your eyes out for that. Then we got two funny videos of the day. The first one's titled, Joe's Having a Hard Time Accepting Kamala's Downfall. And then our official funny video of the day is titled, And This Is Why People Say Fuck the Government. All of that's coming up next, but first we're going to read through the chat, see how you hooligans are doing today. What is up, everyone over on jeffmaclive.com? What's up, Hair Juicer? What's up, Russell? What's up, Zero? What's up, J Spray? What's up, Salty Ragu? What's up, Josh D? What's up, Matt? What's up, Alistair? What's up, Snooks? What's up, Lefties? What's up, Christy Star? What's up, RK? What's up, Damsel? Happy freedom to you, hooligans. Appreciate all of you guys being on the website. And what is up, everyone over on Rumble? Mr. B New, you were first today. I appreciate you racing to the chat. What's up, Green Falcon? What's up, Pumpkin? Russell, you're omnipresent. I appreciate you. What's up, Dabs? Happy freedom to you. Let me see. What's up, Zeus Boot? Zeus Boot, you're omnipresent. Appreciate you. What's up, Puff and Stuff? What's up, Black White Bull? Appreciate you being here. Let me see. What's up, Rappy? What's up, Tony Rez? Happy freedom. Let me see. What's up, Grinch? Happy freedom. Grinch, I forgot about my car problems. I just found two other problems. I got more problems than some. I need to figure out how to make money off problems because all I got is a shit ton of problems. What's up, Mr. Satan? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Elder Zoomer? What's up, Paul? Appreciate you being here. What's up, Fitzy? Happy freedom. What's up, MU? Appreciate you being with us. What's up, Jay Tyler? Don't forget, hit that like button over on Rumble. What is up, everyone over on Kick? Zeus Boot over here, omnipresent. You're awesome. What's up, Pag? Happy freedom to you. And what is up, everyone over on Twitch? Matt Rogers, you're omnipresent. Appreciate you. Tony Rich, appreciate you. Happy freedom to you, hooligans. And what is up, everyone over on the communism platform? Let me fix my chat really quick so I can see all of you. What's up, Cheeky Chops? You were first today over here on the commie platform. What's up, Mr. Satan? You're omnipresent. I appreciate you. Matt Rogers, you're omnipresent. Appreciate you. Happy freedom, all of you hooligans. What's up, Shanti? Happy freedom. Let me see. What's up, Agent Zero? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Brittany? What's up, Monica? Happy freedom. All right. Well, so as you guys probably saw, I took my car to the shop and nobody knows what's going on. And so hopefully they call me tomorrow and let me know what they found. All they know is that it's making a howling sound and they think it's coming from the drivetrain. It kind of sounds like a bad bearing, like if your wheel bearing's bad, it kind of is making a howling, growling sound like that. But it's coming from the center of the car. We had replaced the transmission and we replaced the rear differential. And then about a week after we changed that rear differential, and changing the rear differential fixed the all-wheel drive problem. But then a week later, it started doing this howling thing. And it was kind of off and on. Now it's always doing it. If you press the gas, it will howl. But if you coast down the street, it's totally fine. So they don't really know what's wrong with it. They said they're going to take the whole thing apart and get it figured out. So we will see about that. Then I found out that Cassandra purchased an interface for me so I would be able to use my microphone here instead of my goofy headset that I have on right now. But UPS wants me to attack their drivers, so they refuse to give me my fucking packages. So they came and left a sticky note on my door again, even though I've already called them this week to tell them how stupid they are. And that was to get my DVD right here. I had to threaten their lives just so they would drop my DVD off. Now they have a $200 interface that they're refusing to give me because they won't ring my fucking buzzer. They go to the building and then they knock on the door on the front of the apartment building like somebody's going to answer the door. It's so stupid. The way that people are getting dumber by the second drives me crazy. On top of that, we had somebody join the membership program over on Locals by clicking the join button over on Rumble. And instead of canceling their membership, they're disputing the charges and they're trying to get my account taken down. Instead of canceling their fucking membership, they're disputing the charges. I can't cancel their membership. I don't have that ability. I am this close to doxing them. To put their name out there, their address, their phone number, I mean, anything I can find on them, I'm about to put it out there so somebody can reach out to this idiot and tell them to cancel their fucking membership instead of coming after my financial accounts. Like, people are so stupid. Like, I can't even believe how stupid they are. And people are like, well, you need to make better choices. You need to do this. You need to do that. No, I don't. No, I don't. I do great. Everything I do fan-fucking-tastic. But I'm at the point where if I need McDonald's, I need to cook the burger. I need to run the register. I need to put it in the bag. Because if I don't, somebody else is going to fuck that up. Because it seems like everyone's dumber than I am. And I can't stand that. And I hope you guys don't feel that way. I hope you guys are having a happy life. But nobody is allowing me to have a happy life. I'm saying, Klaus Daniels, Jesus. It's driving me nuts. People are fucking stupid. Anyways, we're going to get started on our first video here. The first one's titled, Biden accidentally says that President Trump doesn't want to beat Kamala Harris again in a debate. Let's get this pulled up. Also, we got brand new t-shirts coming out, but I locked my damn Teespring account. I was trying to sign in, couldn't remember the password because the fucking hackers are always after me. And my account's locked, so I have to contact customer service so I can put the merch together, and you guys are going to love this new merch. Alistair made a fantastic design, and I can't wait to have the ability for idiots to get out of my way so I can actually do what I'm supposed to do in life. Anyways, holy shit, what was that? Let's go ahead and get this started. Once again, this is Biden accidentally says President Trump doesn't want to beat Kamala again in a debate.
And if you've seen the campaign Kamala's run, it proves I'm right. The enthusiasm has been off the charts. Her convention was great. She beat Trump so badly in the debate, he's scared to death to beat her again. That's a fact. Tough guy, right? Tough guy. And if you've seen the...
He doesn't want to beat her again. Nah, he's whooping that ass from a distance. That's what's going on. That's what's going on. Well, we're going to hop right into another video because that wasn't very long. And that's what she said, unfortunately. So this next video is titled, Should Schools Be Allowed to Hit Students? These Republicans Say Yes. Now that title is absolutely propaganda. They're like, these Republicans, they didn't have to say that. They didn't have to say that. When I talk about beating kids, all of you guys give me all kinds of hell. Obviously, Republicans aren't okay with teachers beating kids, but that's what these people are saying. So let's go ahead and get into this. I think this is a slippery slope. There is something that I do agree with. They do mention that the fear of them being hit in school is effective. To threaten them, to say, if you don't straighten up, you're getting the paddle. The fact that the kids know that they could be paddled, the threat is effective. And it makes me think about how every single day we talk about how we got to make those punches in the face great again because people are too damn stupid. But if they thought you were going to punch them in the face every time they stepped out of line, they would try harder and do better. We got to make those punches in the face great again. That's the only part of this video I agree with. The whole rest of it sounds like total nonsense. Anyways, let's get this rolling. And don't forget, hit that like button over on Rumble.
I believe in corporal punishment for any kid that's acting out.
And that would include physical and mental disabilities?
If they have the ability to act like a human being, then they should be disciplined if they're not.
That was Republican Jonathan Wilk there supporting paddling children, including some with disabilities. The comments are, of course, as you can imagine, reigniting a debate over a practice that remains legal in the state of Oklahoma. For more now, I'm joined by Oklahoma State Representative Jim Olson and Joe Dorman, CEO of the Oklahoma Institute for Child Advocacy. Thanks to both of you for taking the time this morning. Really appreciate it.
Yes, ma'am. We're glad to be here.
So I went to Ada Public Schools. I never saw this once. I was shocked to see that 26% of Oklahoma schools still offer paddling as an option. Representative, let me start with you because I understand your position is that it should be an option for schools to use corporal punishment. Why?
You know, this is something that has been done successfully for generations and centuries. And when applied properly, it works well. Now, typically Oklahoma schools that do use it only use it rarely. And just that possibility is enough to improve the general mood of behavior, if you will. It has worked for centuries when done properly, and to exclude it by law is a big mistake.
And let me just quick follow up. Give me a scenario in which you think that's appropriate.
Well, most school superintendents that use it tell me that it would be a rare scenario. So it would be a child that has repeatedly and defiantly refused to follow direct, clear instructions and perhaps even threatened the teacher. Those might be good examples where it might be appropriate.
Joe, let you chime in and respond, because I know you're in the opposite camp here.
That's correct. And we've seen a decrease in corporal punishment around the United States recently. As you said, 17 states still allow it. Only a few states still allow it for special needs students. And Oklahoma is one of those. And we've had multiple reports to our office of parents upset that their children have had corporal punishment applied too harshly or not appropriately. And many of these kids in the special needs category simply don't understand what they're doing, and it's a difficult situation. We want to try and make sure that these kids receive proper discipline, but not physical beating.
Mm-hmm. So you are getting reports that this is happening in Oklahoma schools. It's not just a single line somewhere that hasn't been taken out of education law, if you will. This is still happening, and you're getting reports of it?
Yes, in the 21-22 school year, 43 schools admitted that they applied corporal punishment to special needs students. And in fact, we had a call on Friday to our office. A parent was upset. He denied permission to the school, but then they called the mother and asked the mother, and the mother said yes, and then the child received a paddling. So now we even have schools that are calling both parents if they don't get the answer that they want.
And Representative, let me just ask you, if a child is acting out to the point that you were making earlier, why not the school call the parent and say, come in, handle as you wish? I mean, why should the school be able to lay a hand on a child in that way and not mom and dad?
The school is the delegated authority. The Supreme Court has recognized that the school acts in loco parentis. In other words, in the place of the parent. Now, it might be workable sometimes to call the parent and they can come. Many times that is not at all a workable solution. So it is proper for this to be a delegated authority to the school. And of course, the parents can communicate and work with the schools on just exactly what's going on with their child, and hopefully teach the child proper behavior and obedience so the need will not arise in schools.
Mm-hmm. Do you have children or grandchildren, Representative?
Yes, ma'am. I have 7 children, 15 grandchildren.
Oh my gosh! Wow, you got a lot of love in your family. What if the school called and said they had spanked one of your grandkids? I mean, how would that fly with you?
Well, we homeschooled our children, so it never arose there.
But what if somebody else spanked your child outside of the home? You'd be okay with that?
If they were not in our care, they would always be in the care of someone we trust. Mm-hmm. And our position would be that if our child is openly, clearly defiant and you feel that that's proper, they would be in the care of someone we trust, and we would totally be fine with them doing that.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Go to joinnn.com.
Wow. So that person might be a Republican, but they're definitely not a conservative. Because I don't know any conservatives that would be like, yeah, go ahead and whoop my kid. I don't know any conservatives like that. Not a single one. Most people are like, oh, like they get a phone call and they're like, oh, my kid's messing up. I'll be there in 10 minutes to whoop that ass. That's how most conservatives get down. I don't know what that guy was talking about. He's got 15 kids that were all homeschooled. And he's okaying that teachers are whooping other people's kids? I don't know. I don't think he's the person to be asking those kind of questions to, considering his kids were homeschooled. It also makes me wonder, what did he do to his kids? He's got all those kids and grandkids. None of them went to public school, and he's condoning random people whooping on kids and stuff, especially in today's world. Nah, I feel like he needs to be investigated. Something sounds weird that he's probably got kids locked in the basement and shit like Joe Biden. I don't know. That sounds weird. Sounds real weird. And like I said, with today's world, you think they're gonna do it the right way? Is there a right way? I mean, what the chances are? Like, what if the kid breaks the ass right off the kid? You know, was you gonna hold the teacher accountable? No, there's no accountability these days. And the other thing that I think is really crazy is you're not allowed to spank your kids. You're in most states, at least in Michigan, you're not allowed to spank your kids. You will go to jail for that shit. But the school can spank your kids? I don't understand that. And the thing that really pisses me off is I can have someone literally tell me they're going to kill me and then chase me across 2 zip codes. And I'm not even allowed to put my hands on that person. But these people are talking about schools whooping on kids? That doesn't make any sense to me. Damn, we live in a soft and stupid world. Can't figure it out. Anyways, next up we have JD Vance asked for comment about threats against FEMA workers. There was some individual who made threats against FEMA workers, which I'm assuming has to do with Hurricane Helene, where the federal government was allowing Americans to basically just starve and die and rot wherever they are. And so somebody got mad and said something, and I'm pretty sure they got in a bunch of trouble. We will know more about that tomorrow because I'm going to make sure to add that to the schedule. But either way, we got some words from JD Vance. It's kind of back to back, and we may play them that way. Either way, we're going to read through the chat really quick and see what you hooligans think about Joe Biden talking about President Trump beating Kamala Harris during the debate, as well as schools spanking kids. Zero, doesn't sound weird to me. Corporal punishment was a norm for us old folks. Yeah, Zero, see, it's my perspective that's adjusted, because when I was in 7th grade, we were stabbing each other. If we could pick it up, we would use it as a weapon against our enemies. So you're going to try and spank those kids? You might lose an eye. You might get shot. Like, you might have kids follow you home. Like, you don't know what'll happen. And I remember when I was younger and being in like 5th or 6th grade, and we went to some historical place, and they were talking about how you used to have to lay your hands flat on the desk and they'd slap your hands with the ruler. And I remember the whole class being like, you go ahead and try that. You try that right now and watch what happens. And it's just a different world now, because back in the day, your parents would whoop your ass, and then you go to school and you fuck up, well, the teachers are going to whoop your ass. But nowadays, nobody's whooping anybody's ass. And then you go to school and the teacher threatens you, that's not going to go right, because you're already a heathen. Ain't nobody keeping you in line. Like when I was in school, I already told you guys I was a very bad kid in school. So when I was in 9th grade, I was throwing desks at teachers. Teachers wouldn't even write me up because they were worried about retaliation. I was allowed to graduate, so I wasn't there anymore. That's why they let me graduate. So I didn't have to be there anymore, because they couldn't do anything to me. I was a problem. And I was a shithead, and I should have been held accountable, and as soon as I was an adult, I was. I was only 17 for 11 days or something when I went into jail. I was only eligible to go to jail for 11 days before I made it there, because I was a shithead. I was. And the world's making me feel like being a shithead again, but I know better than to do that. Not everybody's so fortunate to figure it out, though. Most people die before they figure it out, and I was fortunate to see the wrong in my behavior and to become more disciplined, but at the same time, I didn't have any parents. I wasn't raised by anybody. I'm practically an animal like Klaus Daniels here. But either way, read through the chat. Got some old days, kids got detention. Today they get lawyers. Yeah, it's a different world now. Guess I was on the D honor roll. I was too until I got to college. It's weird, from like 3rd grade to the 4th time I did 12th grade, I was D's all day. And I went to college and I was B plus or better all day. Like every class for years. I was near top of class for when I graduated college. Snooks, I didn't have to take geometry in high school. The principal wanted me to graduate. I didn't take geometry. I didn't take SATs. I didn't take ACTs. I never read any of the books that everybody read. I don't know anything about Shakespeare. Never read a sentence of Shakespeare. Never did gym class, never did wood shop, never did welding. I never did most of the things that regular people do. Like I said, I was a bad kid. They didn't want me in there. Guess I went to an Islamic school where we messed up. They would cut our heads off or stone us. Well, guess that's one way to get disciplined. Somebody should have been whooping my ass when I was younger. Well, and that's the other thing. My mom used to like hit me with anything she could lift. I've been smacked with TV remotes, frying pans. I've had a TV thrown at me. I've had a dresser pulled over on me. I mean, my mom used to just close hand punch me in the face. So the level of violence I was experiencing as a child, by the time I was in 7th grade, to stab somebody was like nothing. That was like something you did at recess. The world's a different place now, though. It's real soft. You start raising your voice and people start sticking tampons in their butthole, and it's like, well, it's not the world I grew up in, but that's okay. RK, I had nuns in grade school. You didn't dare cross them. I've heard about that. I've heard about Catholic schools being very stern, and they would tune you up if you stepped out of line. It probably makes decent adults, and every so often you create a serial killer, but for the most part, it probably teaches people pretty good discipline. Guess we also made bongs, to be honest, but we learned shit about wood. I had a lot of friends that loved wood shop, but they didn't want me in there. Here, Juicer, I was always a good student, took AP classes, and was high as a draft pussy all day. You're the bomb, here, Juicer. I bet they loved you. What's up, Tom Tom? Happy freedom. Tom, I got kicked out of regular schools and sent to alternative for the hooligans. Happy freedom. Tom, that's where I was too. I was in the alternative schools for a while, and they let me go back to regular general pop. I was back in general population, but that's why I was too rough around the edges. They were happy when I left. Guess I mastered Shakespeare during puberty. Almost broke the spear a time or two. Holy, get some. What's up, Salty Ragu? Happy freedom. Salty Ragu, put a tool away dirty and dad would throw it at you and bitch about the flashlight. Yeah, Salty Ragu. My dad wasn't around till I was 15 or something like that. I didn't spend any time with my dad hardly. I mean, sometimes in the summer, but that was about it. Otherwise, my dad wasn't around. Paul, yep, ceramics. I made a bong. I've never heard of ceramics class. That sounds actually kind of cool. What's up, Silver Wolf? Happy freedom. Grinch, parents let the internet raise their kids for the most part. If there are perks when they are teachers, it's probably because parents failed them early in their development. Yeah, Grinch. Well, and that's like that guy said, that when you're at school, the school's taking the place of the parents. I don't think that's right at all. I don't think the school should replace parents. And the reason I say that is because the school shouldn't be teaching kids about gay sex and all the things that they're trying to teach right now. They shouldn't do that. They should be learning to read, write, and do math, which they can't. The scores are everywhere. Across the nation, kids cannot read, write, and do math at the level that they're supposed to. But they want to learn about gay stuff and, pledge allegiance to rainbow flags and all of that. So parents need to get back to parenting, and schools need to go back to teaching and stop, indoctrinating. Green Falcon, they were going to paddle me after pulling me to the office by my hair, but they called my dad and he said he would handle it. They really beat kids. Yeah, see, I've never been threatened with paddling or anything like that. Pumpkin, the paddle just belongs in the past. Kids need to be disciplined, but I don't think that teachers or anybody at the school should be paddling children. I don't think the school should be hitting children. Like I said, if they can't teach them to read, write, and do math, what business do they have beating kids, Black White Bull, I appreciate your honesty. Yeah, I don't have very much of a filter since I've been liberated from YouTube. What's up, Plutonium? Happy freedom. What's up, Deep South Jody? Appreciate you being here. Kung Fu, happy freedom to you. Every kid in my 7th grade math class let the ruler drop. What does that mean? That sounds like an innuendo a little bit. Paul, legally the kids could fight back, self-defense. In Michigan, there is no self-defense law. You have to just eat shit, call the police. Police won't do anything, continue eating shit. That's what it's like to be in Michigan. Or do the shit and don't tell nobody. Don't get caught. Now, I don't condone that, but I'm just saying, that's always on the table. What's up, Amarane? Happy freedom. Giggling Spy, happy freedom to you. Public schools is not good enough for his own kids. Yeah, see, and that's what I think is really weird about that guy. He's like, oh yeah, they should be spanking the shit out of those kids. And they're like, well, how many kids you got? He's like, a whole school bus. They were like, oh, did they get spanked at school? He's like, nah, my kids didn't go to public school. Well, damn, dude. He has like an evil laugh, like a super villain. What's up, Nobody's Fault? Happy freedom. What's up, Sibo? Appreciate you being here. Pumpkin, our elementary principal, had a paddle hanging on his office wall. I do remember seeing paddles, but I never heard anybody get threatened or anything like that. The kids were shit when I was in school. There was like gangs in the school. They were just there. And the teachers would get all quiet. You'd see 6 kids come in and the teacher would get all quiet and uncomfortable. Because otherwise, you don't know what'll happen. They were destroying the teachers' cars and all kinds of stuff because you can't do anything to a kid. You can't send them to jail. You can't make them pay fines. They're not going to do anything. So if you punished a student, that student and 10 of his friends would blow all the windows out of your house and your vehicle. And then just, oh, we don't know what happened. Too bad. And then you're a teacher, so you don't make any money. So now you got trash bags on your car and on your house. You can't make enough to fix anything. Police won't do anything. So what does it teach you? It teaches you to shut the hell up and stop punishing students. That's what it does. Because that's how that's the way the ball rolls. What's up, J-Dog? Happy freedom. What's up, Nana? Happy freedom. Nana, I would not sign a permission slip to paddle my children in school, but when my wild child acted up, they called me and I went there and scolded my child in front of the entire class. Yeah, Nana. And I mean, that's some real discipline there, and that's what the school should be doing. They should be calling the parents, hey, kid's not acting right. We need you to come do something. You're the parent. You got to come do something. But to give school permission, I don't know. I don't trust the schools. Nana, the teacher told me there should be more parents like me. I believe it, Nana. I believe it. Steven, my teacher paddled me weekly. What was your safe word? No, I'm just kidding. Yep. I never had any hot teachers either. That never happened. It's up to Marquise. Happy freedom. Zeusboo, principal called my mom and had her on the phone while I got paddled. I laughed after the first one, and she told him to lay into my ass. Yeah, Zeusboo. That's rough stuff. Guess who? Jeff Mack, pro spanking of adults over 18 and 25 if Amish. I mean, yeah, adults need spankings. That's why we gotta make those punches in the face great again. Tony Ridge, cribbage board maker and woodshop. What is cribbage? Well, it must be a game of some sort. I used to see people make all kinds of cool stuff in woodshop, but they did not want me in there. Garlic Press, they kicked me out of senior high school because I had long hair and a beard and was a radical. You were a radical, Garlic Press? My mom got kicked out of school for being dyslexic because she's dyslexic and I'm dyslexic. But back when she was in school, they didn't have special ed programs. You were either special needs or you weren't. And because general ed didn't want her because she didn't read very well, they put her in special needs. And she wasn't special needs. And so she dropped out of school. And she got her GED in jail as far as I know. And as far as I know, she's got like a 7th grade education or whatever. But we all fall through the cracks one way or another. Word, I'd rather have tampons than being stabbed. Yeah, I mean, not me. Not me. I like people being real. If you had to worry about people stabbing you every time you act like a fucking asshole, you wouldn't act like an asshole. For real. Go to the states where they got like Constitution carry. People are nice. They're nice. And they're thoughtful and respectful because you might shoot them. And they don't want those problems. It's all this safety labels and stuff that got us soft and stupid. The Marquis, safe word is joy. I love that. Hooligans Island, safe word's Kamala. Oh no. Oh no. What's up, Crab Nebula? Happy freedom. Chad, I bet China loves the international dumbing down of our schools and the gayness distraction. Yeah, Chad, I think the same thing. I think the same thing. I bet foreign countries look at us and they're like, what are they doing over there? It's like gay Barney going on over in the U.S. Hooligans Island parents don't discipline their kids these days. Yeah, that's why we, like, when we cover those videos of the teenagers in Chicago who are rioting, but then they got like their phone in their hand. There's like a riot in the background. They're making TikTok videos trying to become famous and stuff. That's why. It's because kids aren't getting their little ass whooped. What's up, Billy? Happy freedom. Yes, Trump 2024. Snuck some men fall into the cracks. I mean, yeah, a time or two. Zero. A point counting game with 2 players with variance for 3 or 4 players. The cribbage board used for scoring to 61 or 121 points in numerous small increments is characteristic. Is that what it is? Interesting. Yeah, I don't know much about cribbage. I think I've heard of it before, but I can't even picture it in my brain here. All right, moving forward, we got JD Vance. We might play these back to back. We'll see. This first one is JD Vance asked for comment about threats against FEMA workers. And like I said, I thought it was just generalization, like, just Americans being mad about the response for Hurricane Helene. But apparently there was like a specific individual that made threats against FEMA agents, and I believe it was in relation to Hurricane Helene. So tomorrow I will try and get the interview with the specific person that made the threats, because he's not in jail, which is kind of like the guy that we covered that was supposedly being accused of the potential 3rd threat, against President Trump and whatnot. So I'll make sure to get that interview tomorrow. But let's get into this. Once again, it is JD Vance asked for comment about threats against FEMA workers.
Thank you, ma'am.
Welcome to Wilmington, Senator Vance. I'm Delaney Tarpley with WECT News. Law enforcement recently arrested an armed man for threats made against FEMA workers in Rutherford County. I'm just wondering if you have a comment on the threats made against the men and women who are working to help victims and counties recover from Hurricane Helene.
Well, first of all, look, we of course condemn threats of violence. I think it's disgraceful to threaten violence against anybody, especially relief workers. And we got to remind people that our criticism here is not for the FEMA workers on the ground. It's the broken political leadership in Washington. Why? Think about it. FEMA is the Federal Emergency Management Agency. That's what FEMA stands for. Why is the agency that is set up to help American citizens in the face of disaster spending billions of taxpayer dollars resettling illegal immigrants? It ought to focus on its core mission. Why is the leadership of FEMA focused on resettling migrants instead of preparing and pre-setting resources for the next storm? That's a failure of leadership. It's not a failure of people on the ground who are trying to help people. But I will tell you, if you know somebody in Western North Carolina, I imagine pretty much everybody in this crowd knows a lot of folks in Western North Carolina. A lot of them will say a week and a half into the storm, they didn't see anybody. They weren't getting any help. They weren't getting any relief. So the scandal here is not that a crazy person, as much as we condemn him, threatened violence. That's always a bad thing. The scandal here is that people in Western North Carolina went days and weeks without the help of their own government, and that's what we have to fix, and we will when Donald Trump.
JD Vance out there killing it. But like I said, it was related to Hurricane Helene and the government's terrible response to all of that. We were hearing more about federal agents preventing Americans from saving Americans than the federal agents actually helping Americans themselves. So when that was going on before Hurricane Milton hit, I was mentioning I'm kind of surprised that militias weren't getting involved and people like that weren't getting involved, because there was a lot of people who went to those areas to try and help. And then they were turned away by federal agents who were just sitting on their hands doing nothing because of Joe Biden, Hyena Harris, and how they run the country. So somebody actually did threaten those people. I don't know exactly what he did, but we're going to find out tomorrow more about that situation. Next up, we have another JD Vance video. It's titled, "Don't Give Up. The American Dream Will Become Affordable Again." But first, we're going to read through the chat, see what you hooligans think about JD Vance talking about that crazy person out there was threatening FEMA agents. Zero, FEMA is stealing citizen supplies and not handing them out. Yeah, I've been hearing stuff about that too. They've been seizing donated supplies and stuff like that. People donating food, paper towel, med kits, stuff like that. And then the federal government shows up and just seizes everything. It's wrong. That stuff is wrong. Holy hair juicer. No. Never stuck anything up my nose. Never done that before. Zero. Cribbage is fun, but I like counting games. I'd like to give it a try. I think the last physical game I played was spades when I was in jail a long time ago. A very long time ago. That's where I learned to play spades. I think that's where most people learn to play spades, is in jail, unfortunately. It's not a good thing, I'll tell you that. Snooks, how is Cassandra? I miss her. She's still around. Apparently she's not in the chat right now, but she's around. Christy Starr, I assume everything went through correctly. Otherwise, I don't think you'd be able to sign in. There used to be like a grace period. If your membership didn't go through, like it declined the payment or whatever happened, it was like you instantly lost access. Or, well, no, there was a grace period. You had like a week. Now there's not. If the payment fails, you're not able to see anything other than your account. You can go to the live page and watch the live, but you won't see the chat or anything like that. So I think everything's probably okay with your account, Christy Starr, but I'll check it after the live just to double check. Snooks, you love playing poker? WMM loves playing poker, or he used to when we were younger. He used to just beg me all the time. He's like, "Hey, you need to come over and play poker." He had poker chips and everything. I don't know. I don't win. I don't win. When it comes to games like that, I lose. And I'm a sore loser. Big time. Big time sore loser over here. So I play every once in a while, but not too much. Even like when I go to the casinos, I spend $40 at the casino gambling. And I know that I'm going to spend that $40, and I know I'm not going to spend any more than that. And so it's funny because it's kind of like a race. I go through and I blow that $40 as fast as possible, because after that point, I get to drink until everyone else is ready to leave. And if they take too long, they have to help carry me up out of there. So I like going to the casino. I don't like gambling, though. Snooks, I win by accident. Well, that's good. You got that luck. You got that luck. Jay Spray, I think jail is the only place people play spades. You might be right, Jay Spray. You might be right there. Because I've never been asked to play it anywhere other than inside of a cell. Hendricks, happy freedom to you. Trump could seal his position as president by just opposing the green light on lethal force against Americans. Yeah, Hendricks, and I wonder if he will mention anything about that during tonight's live. He will be live 7 p.m. Eastern time tonight, and we will be covering it. I wonder if he's going to bring it up. I looked it up yesterday or the day before when it happened, or when you guys were telling me about it. And in the results, it mentioned something about President Trump loosening the requirements to use lethal force. Like he made it even easier for the government to shoot Americans. And I don't know a whole lot about that. If anything, it's probably propaganda, but I would like to hear President Trump talk about it. Zupia, that's where I learned to play spades. I think people only play spades in jail. Now that that's been brought up, never been asked to play it anywhere else. Puff and Stuff, Cards Against Humanity, the best card game. I agree. That game is hilarious. I've played it once or twice, but I see screenshots and videos of it all the time on the internet. Love that game. It's so funny. I'm kind of surprised that that's a game with how soft and stupid the world is right now. Puff and Stuff, Israel killed the Hamas chief. Is that who that is? I kept seeing that somebody was smoked, but I didn't know who it was. Mr. B. Neal, was the JD video filmed with a toaster? Some of these clips, they're just rough. I don't know if people are using Obama phones or what they're doing. Pumpkin, if we could get rid of Dems Let me see. Would we have nothing to do? Well, no, we'd have stuff to do. We wouldn't have to rebuild things that were already great because there wouldn't be anyone there to tear it down. I mean, I don't think we'd be perfect, but we'd be all right. Steven, is Jeff reading the chat on YouTube or this? So the way it goes is I read the website, and then I read Rumble, then I read Kick, then I read Twitch, then I read YouTube. That's how it goes. And it's based on support. Like if a lot of people were on Twitch, it would come before Kick. YouTube doesn't contribute to the live because I'm demonetized. So it's always last. Unless I get monetized again, which I don't think will happen, YouTube will always be last. If at all. If they're even on the live. Stoner, teaching math. If Jimmy gets his ass whooped by his math teacher for not paying attention in class and he can't sit for 3 days, how long will it take him to get his shit together? That's right, Stoner. That's right. little story math problem there for you. That's right. What's up, JB? Happy freedom to you. Thank you for joining us over on Rumble. Guess I played doctor, not in jail. In jail, I played tight end. Wow. Come on, man. What's up, Annette? Happy freedom to you. Oh, man. Well, I hope you start feeling better, Annette. 0. Stoner. No story math problems allowed. All right. We'll have to cut that out. Tony Rich, spades, hearts, rummy, and the poker rooms. I've never played hearts or rummy. I've heard that they're close to spades, though. Tony Rich, you learned spades from... Oh, cribbage is a card game. For some reason, I thought it was a board game. Word. I'm not worried about me. I'm what does it say? I'm not worried about me. I'm stabbing about someone else stabbing me. Well, that's all over the place. But the thing is if people were open about the willingness they have to reach out and correct another human being physically, if that was on a large scale, people would be nicer to each other because you'd be worrying about the consequences. But when you know that nobody's going to do anything to straighten you out, you just walk around acting like an entitled asshole. Look at all the people that drive trucks, right? That's a great example. They just ride your ass and they'll pass you on the shoulder of the road illegally. They'll pass you on the double yellow line illegally. You know why? Because nobody's going to hold them accountable. They think that they can just do whatever they want. But if you were to shoot at them while driving down the road, they'd stop fucking doing that shit. But you're not allowed to do that, and they know that. So they're going to continue to act like entitled assholes. And they're kind of sprinkled all over the place. Not just truck people, but entitled assholes. And it's usually people who can't fight. The people that are the biggest assholes are the ones who can't take a punch in the face. And so the world's soft and stupid, and it's really unfortunate. What's up, Proud Patriot Girly? Happy freedom to you. Can I get some prayers for my mom? She might have cancer. Oh no, Proud Patriot Girly. Well, we will definitely pray for her. I'm very sorry to hear that. Hooligans Island, if Kamala wins, it's game over. Don't talk like that. She's not going to win. It's President Trump. We got to get her ass out there and vote for President Trump. Too big to rig. Mushroom, we would have a lot to do because we'd have a lot more money. That's right. If we didn't have the Democrats screwing everything up, we would have more money. The Democrats aren't the only problem, though. Those rhinos suck, too. The rhinos are closer to Nazis. You know, and that's the way it goes. Like, the far left is anarchists, and the far right is Nazis. And so we need to be leaning right. Up the middle, but a little leaning right there. You know? The problem is there's so much extreme stuff going on, there really isn't a middle anymore. The left is so extreme that if you just want to like live indoors and have plumbing, well, you're a right-wing extremist at this point. Like that's pretty much where we are. Sage Pup, we played spades in the Navy. That's badass. That was probably a better environment than playing spades in jail. Tim, did you buy the Cummins yet and dump the Subaru? No, I don't have $15,000 to buy a diesel truck. Michigan prices are ridiculous. Like, look up, like, if you got Facebook or whatever, look up Facebook Marketplace and then go look up used cars in Michigan. They'll be 4 or 5 times wherever, like, whatever they are, wherever you live. It's so stupid. Cars only live for 2 years here because of the salt on the roads and the piss poor drivers and our terrible roads that the damn governor won't fix, even though that's what she campaigns on. But no, I need an all-wheel drive vehicle that I can afford, which means that it can't be an SUV or a truck because I can't afford that shit. So it's got to be a car. Well, that only leaves like 4 models of vehicles. And so it's like Subaru, Mitsubishi, Chrysler 300C, and a few other cars is about all I have options for. And so kind of stuck in a position here. We'll see. God will pave a way. Things happen the way that they're supposed to. So we'll get on to this next one. Like I said, it's another JD Vance video. It's titled, Don't Give Up. The American Dream Will Become Affordable Again. All right, hooligans, let's get into this.
Hi, Senator. My name is Sabrina Barner. I'm with the Standard Journal in Milton. A lot of people might see the state of this country as hopeless or nearly hopeless. So what would be your words to them, especially to young people who feel like they have no chance at the American dream?
Well, I appreciate that question, Sabrina. And look, I frankly know how a lot of those kids felt because I grew up in a pretty rough family and we didn't always have a whole lot of money. And I remember there were times where I looked to the future and wondered whether things were ever going to get better than they were, you know, when I was a teenager, when I was growing up and living with my grandmother who was struggling in very big ways. And I think that my message to them most importantly is don't give up on yourself. One of the things that I've come to appreciate is that, yeah, while sometimes we had it awfully rough and sometimes we were pretty poor, that in a lot of ways it gave me a perspective on the world that I wouldn't have had if I'd been born with a silver spoon in my mouth. And so I think that we take, you know, in this country, we take the good with the bad. And I think in some ways it can be a blessing to have to persevere through very tough circumstances. And I encourage people who feel like the American dream is out of reach, persevere. Never give up on yourself. That's the first thing I'll say. But the second thing that I'll say is that while we got a lot of people who are living paycheck to paycheck, who can't afford to pay off their credit cards, who are struggling and worrying about the future, don't give up on yourself. But my job as your next vice president is to make it just a little bit easier for you to work hard, play by the rules, and get ahead in this country that all of us love. And I know there are a lot of people out there who feel like the American dream is unaffordable. I talk to a lot of young families, young couples who'd like to buy a home and start a family, have a baby, and they feel like they can't because things are too expensive. One of the things that I promise is that when Donald Trump is in the White House, we will fight every single day for you. We'll fight to make the American dream more affordable, and we will rebuild the greatest engine of prosperity the world has ever seen. We've got to get better leadership in there, so go and vote for Trump. That's the final thing I'll say. Go and vote for Trump by November 5th. Thank you, Sabrina.
That's right. Vote for President Trump November 5th. Got to make America great again because it's a toilet bowl right now. Next up, we have protesters demand Kellogg remove coloring dyes from cereals. It's a good idea, but I think we need to do more than just that. And that's why I'm kind of excited for Bobby Kennedy to be a part of Trump's whole deal there. Because as soon as we get the Orange Eagle in, hopefully Bobby Kennedy will really do some things to make our food better, because the FDA approves all kinds of crazy crap. And there's so many videos out there explaining that there's like 600 and something ingredients that we allow in our food that the rest of the world does not allow, because it's poisonous, it's cancerous, it's bad for you, whatever. And over here, we just eat shit with a smile. And hopefully Bobby Kennedy will be able to turn that around once we get the Orange Eagle in office. I'm also excited about Elon Musk cutting costs, cutting the fat off of all the spending that the government does, because we already know they're blowing all that money, and they're not doing it on us. They're sending it to foreign countries and spending it on illegals instead of helping people in the middle of a hurricane and all that kind of stuff. So I'm excited to get President Trump back in the Oval Office. But like I said, this next video here is about individuals demanding that Kellogg remove coloring dyes from their cereals. It's coming up next, but first we're going to read through the chat, see what you hooligans think about JD Vance pumping up the people, suggesting to vote for President Trump. Snooks, oh my god, you're right. It's usually the left one on women. Is it? Is that true, or are we going to take a poll? Is the left booby normally the big one? I've never figured that out, because men and women are similar. Men got a big ball and a little ball. One hangs a little lower than the other. And women's tits are like that too. But I didn't realize it was the left side. I didn't know that was like that. I'm going to have to go stare at my nuggets in the mirror and see which one's the bigger one. I didn't know it was the left titty though. Snooks, it's because it's over the heart. Oh, that makes sense. That makes sense. Science. Look at it. I'm over here learning stuff about boobies. Love it. Only on Coffee with Hooligans. Jay Spray, they're blowing more than money. You're not wrong, Jay Spray. You're not wrong. RK, so much cereal has bioengineered ingredients in it now. Yeah, it's because kids eat cereal. They're targeting the kids. I mean, they've been targeting the kids, but everyone does it. It's terrible. It is terrible. Jay Spray, I've met a right-sider. Have you? Were they a little funnier than normal, or they have any special perks? I'm left-handed. Like when I write, I'm left-hander, so does that make me special? Supposedly I'm more artistic, but maybe it was autistic. Sometimes I don't listen very well. Snugs, people can just quit buying the colored Cheerios. Jeez. No, it's not the same thing. Even in Cheerios, I'm sure they got bioengineered crap in them. I haven't eaten cereal in 12 years. Cereal, lasagna, milk. I'm trying to think what else. Because I found out I had stomach problems. I mean, I was sick all the time. I didn't know why. And I found out it was because there's something wrong with my stomach. So ever since then, I don't drink milk. I don't eat cereal. I don't eat anything with red sauce in it. Except for Diablo, which doesn't make any sense. But it doesn't hurt my stomach. And I'm going to live my best life. So whatever's whatever. Yeah. Chrissy Star, I dig JD. I do too. I think JD is definitely growing on me. I haven't seen him screw anything up yet. He is firm. He's very clear when he speaks. He's assertive. Like when he went across the tarmac to go talk to the reporters that were there to witness Hyena Harris coming off the plane. So JD Vance walked across and was like, hey, I see you guys are here for Harris. Well, she's not going to talk to you. So I figured I'll come over here and talk to you. Badass. Badass. He didn't have to do that. He chose to do that. Hair juicer cereal is poison. Yeah. I don't think there's anything worthwhile in cereal, but like I said, I haven't eaten it in over a decade, so who knows. Joe Lexi, read your food labels. Absolutely. Absolutely. I read the food labels on everything that I purchase, because if you don't, you're purchasing crap, and it's contributing to you feeling bad. So you feel bad, you're spending your money, you're feeding the shit to your kids, and it's like a clusterfuck, it's a shit storm going on. And so, yeah, read the labels, and then you can be more confident in the stuff you buy. What's up, Kevin? Happy Freedom. Kung Fu, bread inflames my shoulders. I've had to stop eating bread, but it is so hard to not eat bread. Everything comes with bread and cheese on it. Like, just everything does. And it drives me nuts, but I'm trying so hard to get away from bread. I lose weight like crazy. Like, if I stop eating bread, 2 weeks later, I'll drop 20 pounds. Just like that. It's something about the bread. It just wrecks me. Supia, speaking of blowing, that cackling cunt is in my city today. If I didn't have to work, I would have made a giant sign that says, Kamala sucked her way to the top and waited for her motorcade. Supia. Well, I'm sorry she's in your town, but that is hilarious. Bobby, cat titties? No, no, no. Klaus, you cover your little innocent ears. Yeah, you don't need to hear about that. Kung Fu found a 2014 Taurus with 150K for 11,000. What a bargain! That's right, Kung Fu. That's right. That sounds like Michigan prices. Mr. B knew red flag. He lived with his grandmother. Yeah, I know. It hit me right at home too when he said he's like, I used to live with my grandma. I'm like, I used to live with my grandma too. JD Vance, we're voting for you, buddy. You got me. Mm-hmm. Told to carry, stay strong and know your rights. Absolutely. 100%. Bobby, I heard whispers on the street that something is going to happen on 31. Not the usual Halloween shit. We'll see, Bobby. I feel like they've been doing that for the last 4 years. And maybe even longer than that. But I know the last 4 years, it seems like anytime there's a holiday or an event, all of a sudden there's, oh no, potential threats and dirk and all this stuff. And all that happens is people get scared and no one has a good time, but no threat actually happens. And now that I've said that, watch something actually happen. That would really be terrible. But I feel like it's people using fear-mongering to make sure you have a shitty time during the holidays. And maybe I'm wrong, but it just sucks. I feel like you can't be happy anymore. You're not allowed to be happy, or else you're a racist. Zupia, cribbage is a card game that involves a board. Giggling Spy, the board is used to keep track of the cribbage score. Alright, you've talked me into it. I'm going to Google it. I'm going to Google it. I'm not going to Google it right now, but I'll read about it, and then tomorrow I'll know more. I'll be a professional cribbage player. Kevin, I was out getting new Pokestops, and I was out of Pokeballs. I can't do it right this second. If we get a long enough video, I'll send you a gift, if I'm able to. I think I sent it to you after midnight. I might not be able to send you a gift until it's midnight again. I'll see if I can help you out, Kevin. Bobby, Grandma's Boy. I am, and the movie's hilarious. What's up, Kicks? Happy freedom. Paul, buy a vehicle from a retirement community. Old people take care of their vehicles. That's what I'm trying to do, Paul. I'm trying to come across some old lady where her husband just died and they had a Lincoln in the garage or something like that. It's only got 100 miles on it and she'll take $2,000 for it. Like, I'm looking for that kind of situation. I'm working on it. I don't even know what's happening with the car yet. I dropped the car off. They said they'll have it for more than a week, most likely, and they'll let me know. And that's all I know about the car, which really sucks. Last time I gave them the car they did the transmission swap, and I think they also swapped the rear differential. They had it for like 5 weeks, and I was sitting here losing my marbles and stuff, so I hope that doesn't happen again. What's up, Big Juan? Happy freedom. Big Juan, could you imagine if the government... Let's see. Could you imagine a government that works to make our food healthy? I can't imagine it, but it would be fantastic. Like, just imagine if all our tax dollars actually fixed our roads, actually made our schools teach kids what they're supposed to know. I mean, there's so much possibility. You know, there's so much possibility. We could fix the homeless problem. We could fix kids being hungry. Kids being hungry is a really big problem in the U.S. You wouldn't think so, but it is. It's actually a huge problem. Kids going to school hungry, and then they get in trouble because they're trying to like snake food off their friends or grab an extra apple in the cafeteria, and then they're getting disciplined because of it, but they don't know how to tell their teacher they're hungry because no one's feeding them at home. Like when I was a kid and I was getting beat and stuff like that, and I went to school, I was just aggressive. I didn't go, hey, my mom and my, people at home are beating me. I didn't say that because I thought it was normal. I didn't think it was anything worth talking about. I figured everybody lived like that. So instead of me telling people, I was just aggressive. Hungry kids are like that. Hungry kids go to school and they don't go, hey, I'm hungry because no one feeds me. I'm just hungry. And the teacher's like, no, you're bored. You're just bored eating. You're up to no good. You need to get out of here. I'm giving you detention and stuff. And they're actually hungry because they're not being taken care of at home. But they don't know any different. They think that's normal. And so they don't tell anybody. And so it's actually a really big problem. So if the government actually fixed our food and made it, didn't make it anything, let it be what it is, where it's full of nutrition and stuff like that, we wouldn't be overeating, we wouldn't have obesity, we wouldn't have so many Americans with stomach problems, heart conditions, high cholesterol, things like that. It would really change things around. And so, like I said, I'm pretty excited for Bobby Kennedy to give his input once we get the Orange Eagle back in the Oval Office. Crab Nebula, if we have a healthy food section, what is the rest of the store? Trash. It is. Yep. Crab Nebula, it's embarrassing for kids to admit poverty, negligence. It's not cool. Yeah, Crab Nebula. Yeah, and that's a big factor for kids too, is being cool, being trendy. You don't want to appear vulnerable or anything like that. It's very true. Shanti, I try to shop Amish. Yeah, that's the best way to go. That's how you can get non-GMO seeds too. If you want to grow your own food and you don't want it to have GMO, get them from Amish people, because it has something to do with their religion, that they're the only ones able to have non-GMO stuff. If you're like a commercial farmer, you're not allowed to have non-GMO because it's considered not a high enough quality and the government will shut you down. You have to have GMO in your bullshit. But if you go to the Amish people, they're exempt because of religious reasons. So if you get their food, it's usually the highest quality. Unless you know a small farmer, not a big commercial farmer, but a small farmer, chances are they have good quality food too. Christopher, we can't afford to eat healthy. Yeah. See, and I see a lot of that stuff, but I can't eat so much stuff that when it comes to me eating healthy, it's like vegetables and meat. That's all I buy. I don't, and I just cook it like that. Here's my protein. Here's my vegetables. And I think that's probably from cooking so much Asian food, because I like eating Asian food. So I cook a lot of like Chinese food and stuff like that. But I stopped eating rice because rice isn't good for you. So I pretty much eat Chinese food with no rice, which is just protein and vegetables. And sometimes I stray off the path. It depends how much time I have to cook. What's up, South Central? Happy Freedom. Status quo, corporal punishment still existed in my time of grade school and experienced it. I know the good, the bad, but also realize the young do crave positive discipline. Yeah, status quo. Well, I think it needs both. I don't think you necessarily need to beat your kids, but I think there needs to be both. You need to have positive and firm reinforcement, because I've seen kids that were only taught positive reinforcement and they're deceitful. They run away from accountability and they lie a lot. They're super liars, because the most they ever got in their life was, "Oh, you're okay, just try harder next time." And that didn't do the deal. They were actually fucking up and they never got an ass whooping for it. I feel like you need both. You can't just whoop your kid every time they step out of line. They'll think you hate them. They'll also think that that's how they got to solve problems, is using their hands. And I think it needs both. I think you have, that's why mom and dad need to be in the house, because moms are the ones that do that soft ass punishment, which is needed sometimes. But dads, they be whooping that ass sometimes, which is also needed sometimes. Now, I'm not talking about abusing anybody. I'm talking about sometimes you need a firm hand, sometimes you need a soft hand. You know, you need dad to come home, put that foot in your ass. You need mom to kiss the boo-boos when you skin your knee. You need both. And that's why we got to, have families and stuff again. Now, we can't afford it right this second, but that's part of why they broke it all down. And so you got single moms raising kids. You got single dads raising kids. Nobody wants to be the bad guy when you're a single parent, right? You don't want your kid to hate you when you only got them on the weekends and shit. Therefore, no one's being disciplined. And then they grow up to be Antifa, and they turn their wiener inside out, and they're doing fentanyl, and they're burning shit down, and nobody wants those problems, Crab Nebula, parental balance as intended. Yeah, I think so. I think we had it right back in the day when we had families and stuff, because it looks like a shit show these days. Oh, status quo, you rock. I appreciate you being here with us. South Central, scuttlebutt, true Elon purchasing YouTube? No, I don't know who's spreading that stuff, but I think Elon would create a video tab on his platform before he ever thought about purchasing YouTube. If he purchased YouTube, I would hope he'd just shut it down. Just buy it and then shelf it. That's what they did with Vine. He bought Vine and then just shelved it. And it's just sitting there for whenever he needs it. And I'm waiting to see if the TikTok ban happens. We haven't talked about this in a long time. But if the TikTok ban happens, I bet you Elon would turn around and put Vine back out there. Because Vine is the original TikTok. It just disappeared after Instagram came out. And I bet Vine would come back if TikTok was actually banned. But we haven't heard about that in a long time, so you never know. Snugs, give a child consistency and good attention, and they'll do good. Well, yeah, they definitely need that for sure. Hair juicer, me and the homies buy a whole cow together once a year. We get fresh eggs for stupid cheap. Got to drive an hour for fresh milk. Yeah, hair juicer, but it probably get nutrition you couldn't even get from a grocery store. So we'll go ahead and we'll move on to this next video here. This next one is protesters demand Kellogg remove coloring dyes from cereals.
More than 1,000.
Come on now. I think this is the right path, but I think we need to go beyond just food coloring. We need to go into the ingredients and stuff like that. But I think this is a good start. Let's get into this, and don't forget, hit that like button over on Rumble.
But more than 1,000 protesters rallied in front of Kellogg's headquarters in Michigan, demanding that the cereal company remove what they call harmful additives from their breakfast products. News Nation's Anna Koyman joins us live with more on this. And Anna, many of those that showed up are parents concerned about, what could happen if their kids eat some of these cereals and breakfast foods.
100%. There were big crowds there in Michigan. Marky, good morning to you. And good morning to everybody at home. Once again, moms and dads are taking a closer look at what's going into their children's mouths with their cereal and other common breakfast foods. And this time, it's not just sugar that they're taking a look at. It's chemicals, it's artificial food dyes, and it's preservatives. Take a look. Hundreds of parents, kids, and wellness leaders gathered for a Michigan rally before activists marched and delivered boxes of petitions to Kellogg Corporation with what they say contains over 400,000 signatures demanding Kellogg remove artificial food dyes and a preservative called BHT from kids' cereals.
All of the cereals that they have targeting children have these artificial food dyes, but they don't do this in other countries. It's un-American, it's unethical, it's immoral.
Protesters say there's evidence that artificial food dyes can contribute to behavior issues in some kids, and some doctors agree.
Food is at the cornerstone, is a foundation of healing children. And one of the first things that we do is we remove food coloring from their diet. And it is astronomical and mind-blowing. The parents cannot even believe it, that it could be that easy to just remove food coloring and the change on their behavior, and even in my eczema program, on their skin.
Kellogg announced nearly a decade ago they would remove the artificial colors by 2018. They did in other countries, but not in the United States. And they told us, quote, "Our products and the ingredients we use to make them are compliant with all applicable relevant laws and regulations, and we remain committed to transparently labeling our ingredients so consumers can easily make choices about the food they purchase." Today, more than 85% of our cereal sales contain no colors from artificial sources.
Instead, they've done the opposite. Not only have they lied to us, but they keep creating new products. One just released this month after a stuffed animal my kids have in their bed with these artificial food dyes.
And there are mixed reactions from U.S. leaders about what should be done, if anything, with regulating coloring and preservatives in our food. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration has said that it believes most children have no adverse effects when consuming color additives. Now, these food activists that we talked to, they're not saying that now all of a sudden the cereals in Europe and Canada and Australia are healthy because they're lacking the food dyes that we have here in the United States. But they say, look, it's a step in the right direction for getting our children to stop eating such ultra-processed foods. Marky, back to you.
I can't imagine how that would go over in a lot of households when you tell the littles you got to take the Fruit Loops away. Yeah.
Well, when it's flavored with watermelon and carrots and colored that way, some say you can't tell the difference. I haven't sampled the two, so I couldn't tell you. But
Look, it's a step in the right direction, according to these food activists. Some parents, though, are going, you know what? I just want my kid to enjoy their cereal and have some fun with the colors.
Yeah, try the cereals, and then that'll be the follow-up, Anna. Anna Koyman, thanks so much. We'll talk to you again soon.
Okay. Like I said, it sounds like it's heading in the right direction there. Kellogg's has lied to people about it. They said they were going to remove the ingredients, and they did in foreign countries, but not here they didn't. And they were like, well, we're following the law. Have you seen the laws lately? You're not saying a whole lot. I don't know about that end part, though. She's like, oh, I couldn't imagine telling the little ones that they can't have their cereal. Oh, they're going to stop paying bills? Oh, they don't pay bills? They don't have a fucking say. What are you talking about? Like, apparently she don't discipline her kids. When you say stupid shit like that out loud, the kids don't have a say. They're kids. You're supposed to do what's right for them. It's not a negotiation. Like, stupid. That right there is so fucking stupid. But anyways, like I've been saying, I'm really eager and excited to see what Bobby Kennedy's going to do with making America healthy again. I want to see some real big changes, but even if he did, just get them to pull the artificial dyes and all that stuff would be a really big step in the right direction, because right now they just approve crap in our food. I've been told for years that the biggest reason that ramen noodles, and I know you guys would be like, it ain't Ramen's noodles, those are ramen's noodles. Nah, that's ramen noodles, okay? But ramen noodles has got ingredients from embalming fluid or some shit in it. So when you eat enough ramen noodles, you're 1 foot in the grave. Like the people at the funeral home, their job is half done. And that's how bad our food is. And so hopefully they can make some changes and we can start having some better food again. We deserve it. You know, as much taxes as we pay around here, we deserve it. Next up, we got Lefties losing it. TV hosts react to idiot TikToker vandalizing flag display. Of course, this is a plethora of idiots, with it being Lefties losing it. It's coming up next, but first we're going to read through the chat, see what you hooligans think about some healthier food on the way, or at least that's what the protesters are hoping. Doo-doo-doo. J-Spray, what are you guys saying? Guess I'm great. If they change Fruit Loops, the LGBT will be protesting. Let me see here. J-Spray. Well, that was Guess Up J. J-Spray says, it'll still be called Fruit Loops. They can't get too mad. That's right. I seen some hooligans saying something like that on Rumble. I'm going to see if I can find it in a second. I didn't even think about that. See, I told you, it's been a long time since I had cereal. They might be the LGBXYZ Fruit Loops. Don't know. RK, I see so many overweight children today. Yeah. When I was a kid, there was only like 2 fat kids in class. It was like a rare thing. And we didn't really pick on them. I mean, they got picked on, and I used to defend people like that. All my kids used to be the little dirty kids. Like all my friends were those kids. We were the hooligans of our time and whatnot. So if I had fat friends, you know, I defended them from getting bullied. It didn't make them, you know, less fat. But at least they knew they were fat, and if they had an opportunity to lose some weight, they took it. Now we got fat shaming. You know, oh, it's a big scary thing. You're not allowed to make fun of fat people. Well, what happens? They continue to be fat. That's just how it goes. You make fun of fat people, they'll start losing weight and shit. Got to make bullying great again. Anyways, it was nothing like it is today. Now you could throw a quarter and it's going to land on a fat kid, and it shouldn't be that way. You know, they only been here 8 years. How do they weigh as much as I do? That doesn't make any sense. Zero, if the EU doesn't allow it, we shouldn't either. I see the EU making a lot of changes that make sense, but the last time I said that, everybody jumped all over me. I don't really know who the EU is. It's apparently not America, but they keep making these changes that seem to make sense. I need to figure out who the EU is. The EU. RK, yellow number 5 is supposed to be really bad, and it's used a lot. I've never heard of yellow number 5. There's like a red 3 or something like that a lot of people who have ADHD kids worry about. This red number something or other. But like we were saying a little bit ago, if you read the labels on the food that you're purchasing and stuff, don't buy food that's got crap in it. It'll go farther. You'll be fuller. You'll be healthier. Your kids might bitch about the cereal not being ultraviolet colored and all that kind of stuff, but they'll have to get over it. They don't pay bills. They don't have a choice in the matter. They can eat food or they can go hungry. That's all there is. By law, you're only you're only supposed to provide with what they need, not what they want. So if they, they want the $20 Fruit Loops, but you're trying to give them the healthy O's on the bottom shelf, well, they're going to have to eat what you purchase. And that's all there is to it. You're not negotiating with them. You're telling them how it is. That's what parenting is. Zero, they need to just stop buying this stuff. Vote with their doll hairs. Yeah, that's right, Zero. Instead of trying to get Kellogg to hear your voices as you scream in the streets, how about you stop buying their bullshit? People did it with Bud Light. I mean, they didn't get canceled, but it did definitely affect their stock and stuff like that. Kellogg's in the same boat. Vote with your doll hairs. You're absolutely right, Zero. Guess when my kids piss me off, I'd beat the neighbor's kids just to set an example for my kids. I love that, guess I love that so much. Zero, the EU is the European Union. But what's bad about them, though? Because, like, I was saying something about Android. Oh, and you know what? This is actually the issue that I had with my interface. My interface uses Thunderbolt 3, which looks like a USB-C plug. You guys probably aren't going to be able to see it, but the bottom of your cell phone, if you got an Android, yeah, you can't even see it. It should have this oval plug. You plug your, plug your charger in or whatever. Thunderbolt 3 looks just like USB-C. USB-C is what I just showed you. The EU told iPhone they're not allowed to have special chargers anymore because they're running a monopoly. They have to use the same charging port that Android uses. So the shape is actually the same, but the cable is not. So a Thunderbolt 3 will plug into a USB-C port, but it doesn't function the same way. So if you take an Android charger, you can charge your new iPhone. But my interface requires Thunderbolt. My PC has USB Type-C. When I plug the cable between the two units, they don't communicate because they are not the same. They just look the same, but they're not the same. In the EU is the reason that happened, is because the EU forced Apple to change their plugs, and Apple, being dedicated to their monopoly, they made the plug look the same, but it doesn't actually function the same. It's like doing a rebranding is like what happened, and that's what screwed me up about the audio interface. But hopefully tomorrow we'll have the new one. I won't be on a headset anymore. It really depends if UPS gives me my damn package or not. That's the only thing dictating it. Otherwise today we would be on a microphone, but either way. Guess I'm ISA, the industry attended. I don't know what that is. Guess I'll have to look into it. RK, regular Cheerios, Rice Krispies, Corn Flakes, Wheaties, Raisin Bran were some of my favorites. Yeah, I used to like all that cereal too. But I've never read the labels on those boxes. They used to be advertised as like healthy heart cereal. Like for a long time, Cheerios had that big red heart on it to symbolize that it was supposed to be healthy for your heart. Snooks, I'm kind of packageless, a little bit. And then I heard that the FDA report and about ramen noodles and food coloring and preservatives. And did you know that back in the early 60s, it took 20 bottles of embalm, to embalm a person not only takes 5, we are already well preserved. Wow. I believe that, Annette. I believe that. We eat so many preservatives in our food that we're already 1 foot in the casket. I totally believe that. Hair juicer, I sweat like a faucet. So glad I became a welder. Yeah, hair juicer. I sweat like that too. I've been that way my whole life. I remember being like 11 years old on the playground, and the teachers come, they're like, come here, and I'll come over, and they're like, are you okay? I'm like, yeah, why? They're like, you're all red and you're sweating. I'm like, yeah, that's what happens when I play. And they're like, you sure you're okay? Does that normally happen? I'm like, yes. And even now as an adult, it's like 63 degrees and I'm like sweating and dying. And people are like, "Are you all right?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm okay." They're like, "You look like you're having a medical emergency." I am. It's called life. And I'm enjoying it to my ability. Matthew, the EU is insane commies. Are they? See, that's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, what is it about the EU that's bad? Because it seems like they're making good choices, but I don't know a whole lot about them. I can't like sign off and be like, yeah, they're great people. I don't necessarily believe that, but the things that they're forcing Apple to do, as well as some of these other companies, seems to make sense. Puff and stuff, breakfast, dinner. Love breakfast, dinner. I could eat breakfast all day, every day. Never be mad about it. Matthew, they're the Nazis. I believe it. Kicks. Well, we use zinc on our pits. Body needs iron and gold. Go figure. Yeah, Kicks. I had to get away from aluminum. I'm allergic to non-precious metals, and I felt like the aluminum in my deodorant and all that stuff was affecting my memory. And so I got away from it, and I actually feel a little bit better. But at the same time, Cassandra sent me a bunch of supplements like lion's mane and stuff. I feel a huge difference when I take lion's mane. If you guys have access to it, you should give it a try. I mean, it's up to you. I'm not trying to tell you what to do, but I've had some real positive results from taking lion's mane. It's not expensive. I even have a lion's mane kit to grow lion's mane, which I did successfully do, but I didn't process it correctly, and I had to end up throwing it out, which was my own mess up. It's, learning curve and whatnot. But if you can get your hand on some lion's mane supplements, you will feel it that day. Like you take 2 capsules or whatever it tells you on the bottle, and within a few hours, you will notice that you don't get lost in your train of thought anymore, right? Like you're talking, you start getting sidetracked in your story, and then 2 hours later, you realize you never went back and made your point. You take lion's mane, that won't happen anymore. You'll be on track. Hendrix, you can grow lion's mane at home pretty easily. Yeah, I want to get a couple kits because I got the one and I've actually had 3 harvests off of it. What there's not enough of is information on what to do when you harvest it. When you harvest the lion's mane mushroom, what do you do with it? All the information says to cook it. Like pick it and then cook it like a steak. And I'm like, I don't have time to cook it. So what do I do with it? And then it's like, well, if you do this, it'll mold. If you do this, it'll mold. If you do that, it'll mold. I'm like, okay, I don't want it to mold. I want it to last for the next 6 hours so then I can cook it. No information on it. Can't find info anywhere about it. Sucks. I'll figure it out eventually, though. Green Falcon, dry it. If you dry it, then when you cook it, it doesn't taste very good, I guess. And there's also a specific way to dry it, because if you dry it, if you just throw it out there and dry it, it'll lose some of the nutritional value. So then if you take the dust and you put it in capsules and you consume the capsules, they won't have the same effects because the active ingredients die if you don't dry it correctly. Josh, get a dehydrator and blend it into a powder. If you have to disinfect the shit out of all of the equipment or it molds. Yeah, Josh. That makes sense. Green Falcon, dehydrate it. I'll have to look into a dehydrator, see how much they are. Maybe I'll add one on the wish list. What's up, Oh Graham? Happy freedom. Bobby, throw it on a window screen. That'd probably work. Paul, the smell of bacon and coffee is the best alarm clock. I agree, Paul. That makes me think of my grandpa. That's how it was. My grandpa used to wake up at the ass crack of dawn and be cooking breakfast and stuff. Grincho, tinctures. Yeah, it'd be cool to make tinctures out of it. Josh, about $30 for a dehydrator. That's pretty cheap. Hendrix, I want to get a freeze dryer. What do you want to use your freeze dryer for? Puffing stuff. My tummy's rumbling now. I haven't eaten in 2 days because I'm like trying to save money and stuff. And I've been like kind of depressed and whatnot. So I've intended on eating, but then it just hasn't happened. Kung Fu, it won't mold in 6 hours. See, and I was kind of thinking maybe that wouldn't happen, but I don't trust shit. So I was like, my luck, it'll be double molded. Zupia, microplastics, yeah. There's a lot of new information coming out about microplastics and how much of it we have in our system and stuff. Euhelion, ginseng is amazing. I've heard of ginseng before, but I can't remember what it, maybe it was in tea or something like that. What does ginseng do? Grinch, you feel the same way, Grinch, about ginseng? Puff of stuff. Bacon goes with everything. Bacon is the only pork I eat. I don't eat any pork. I don't eat ham or anything like that. Just bacon. Matthew, the EU is the governing body of Europe. What sucks about them? Like, you guys keep telling me they suck, but like, what is something they've done that makes them shit for sure? Josh, why are you just screaming penis in the chat? So why are you doing that? What's up, Shake and Bake? Happy Freedom. Some Cookie Crisp. The last time I had Cookie Crisp, it had Sonic the Hedgehog pogs in them. It was a long time ago. A very long time ago. Matthew, that's why we did Brexit. But that was a black lie. It's got worse by design. What are you talking about, Matthew? What's up, Wayward? Happy Freedom. The audio sounds fine in the headset. Well, see, you guys, I don't know. You guys are kind of talking me into the headset. I feel claustrophobic wearing the headset a little bit. It creates more tension on me when I'm using the headset because I can't hear my surroundings. But as long as you guys like it, that's what matters. Kung Fu ginseng is for making your manhood better. Are you sure? Do you guys remember when they used to say Mountain Dew used to make your wiener small? Is that something that only happened in Michigan, or y'all hear that too? Klaus is looking at me like, what's it do? Don't you worry about that, buddy. You be all right. KX stole U.S. money to defend them. That's what the EU did? Matthew, they allowed uncontrolled illegal immigration to happen? Oh, they did what like Harris is doing and stuff. Yeah, that makes them a piece of shit for sure. J-Dog, my son is also allergic to nickel. Took a long time to find out. Would you stop? What are you doing? Say hello. Yes, the assault kitty. Ooh, I shouldn't say that. The government would try and ban him. J-Dog, my son is allergic to nickel. Took a long time to find out what was going on with his breakouts. I always have lion's mane on hand. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, J-Dog. Yeah. Lion's mane is pretty awesome, but getting away from non-precious metals is kind of a pain in the ass. I told you guys before, I was working at this factory where everything they made was out of aluminum. It was a different car part factory than the one I worked at for a long time. I made it 9 days, and 6 days into it, I lost my hearing in my left ear because of the aluminum in the air. And I was like breathing it and stuff, and then you have to put earplugs in, and I was doing that. I'm shoving metal shavings in my ear, and it created an infection because I'm allergic to that stuff. And I lost my hearing in my left ear, and then I got tinnitus. I have permanent hearing damage in my left ear. I hear loud ringing all the time if it's quiet enough, and they fired me because of it. So, and I was a temp worker, so they were being weird about it. They were like worried I was going to sue them or something, which I don't have enough money to sue anybody. But they ended up letting me go because of it. Elise, oh my god, Pogs forever. Yeah, I used to have a ton of Pogs. Supia, the EU is the main reason of all of Europe is starved for energy right now. Huge believers in the Green New Deal and shutting down nuclear and coal plants. Oh, Supia, thank you for letting me know. Like I said, I didn't know anything about the EU, but they sound like tyrants. Matthew, the EU took away sovereign rights of countries. Yeah, they sound like pieces of shit, for sure. Bobby, ginseng increases your blood flow? Oh, I see what you're saying. Matthew, EU is in bed with WHO, the UN, etc. Okay. Alright, I see. Euhili, and the headphones makes me feel like 4 years ago when you first hopped on the Cray train. Wouldn't take it back ever. Worth it. I appreciate you, Hill. What's up, Find It, Fix It? Happy Freedom. Paddling. No paddling here where I work. Well, if you find a pretty one, she might let you have it. You never know. Cash flow sounds like what the U.S. is doing. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too, cash flow. The EU sounds exactly like what our government's doing. Mav, happy freedom to you. As long as parents are involved to attend, told time and place, and sign off, why not paddle? I mean, to each their own. I'll say that. To each their own. As long as everybody's happy, then I'm happy. What are you guys talking about on Twitch? Tony Rich, the ball boob quandary. Yeah, we're trying to figure it out. Is everyone a lefty? Hooligan Island, but how do you know if they're real women and not trans? I mean, there's only one way to tell. You gotta flip them over. Just like when you get a cat and dog, you know. What is that? You're like, let me see. Is your girlfriend really a girl? You're like, well, let's flip it over, figure it out. You know, I just figured it out. The easiest way to figure out if someone's trans or not is pretend like you're going to hit them in the wiener. If they flinch, they have a wiener. You can't not flinch. Somebody acts like they're going to kick you in the nutsack, you're going to flinch. If you don't have one. It's that simple. We figured it out. What's up, Larry? Happy freedom. Mitchell, if you're allergic to Snickers, send them to me. I will keep that in mind. Miss Weaver, aluminum is in all the injectables. Yeah, see, that's no good. I'm like severely allergic to it for no reason. Clouds in my coffee. Try bone broth. What is bone broth? How do I obtain that? Like, do they have it at Walmart? Larry, if God would bless me with a kidney transplant, it would be great. Well, we will pray for you, Larry. God will make it happen. Zero, EU made good choices about food. Everything else is shitty choices. Yeah, I'm getting that kind of image. What's up, Dan? Happy freedom to you. Thank you for joining us. We're going to get on this next video here. It's a funny one. It's titled Lefties Losing It. TV host reacts to idiot TikToker vandalizing flag display.
Now it's time for Lefties.
Good stuff. All right, hooligans, let's get into this. Don't forget, hit that like button over on Rumble.
Now it's time for Lefties Losing It. Now there's stupid, there is spectacularly stupid, and then there is this. Watch this leftist TikToker lose her mind and vandalize the flag display at a Greek restaurant in New Jersey because she thought the Greek flag was the Israeli flag, and apparently that entitles her to act like this.
I'm about to come back and put Free Palestine too. Free Palestine, bitch. Look, what you looking at? You know damn well there's a genocide. You know there's a genocide. Now stop it. I'm taking this down. I believe this one. Take this one down right here. I don't stand for this. There's genocide, and I don't stand for Zionism. And Montclair, I don't support it. There's a genocide. You know that, right? They're killing children. What's the purpose? Be proud of your heritage. Y'all understand there's a genocide, right?
Yeah, that guy's face says it all. Now let's see how this lefty losing it reacts when told that she's attacking a Greek restaurant and tearing down Greek flags.
But this is not okay.
This is Greeky.
Who's this?
This is Greeky.
What? Really?
Greeky.
Yeah. Oh, I thought it was Israel. My bad. Really?
Yeah.
Oh, my bad. It looked like Israel.
It's really not a huge.
Okay, well, you want it back?
Do you want your flag display I just tore down back? Unbelievable. Just as unbelievable is the fact that that idiot chose to post that on social media. It's almost funny until you realise these people vote, and when it comes to their vote, you know they ain't voting for Donald Trump. Democrats count on low information voters who consume trash like this.
If Donald Trump does win, there won't be Democrats go back and figure out how to get more voters and figure out how to change your positions. There will be camps. There will be Project 2025. There could be arrests of people like Adam Schiff. There could be Nancy Pelosi being hauled off to jail.
There will be camps. Project 25, they are unravelling. As for Nancy Pelosi being hauled off to jail, you mean like the lawfare that's been unleashed on Republicans in recent years, the sham cases against Donald Trump? Democrats shamelessly weaponise the justice system and then they play the victim. This is classic cry-bully behaviour. Let's go to the lefty lunatic asylum that is MSNBC now. Here is Mara Gay from the New York Times claiming that men who listen to Joe Rogan need therapy and could be fascists.
Not all men are just at home listening to Joe Rogan, being angry or being recruited to fascism. Some just need therapy, like we all do. I go to therapy, that's great.
Good luck with the therapy, but perhaps take a class in English as well so you know what words like fascism actually mean. And a math class wouldn't go astray either. Remember, this is the same Mara Gay who said this on MSNBC.
Somebody tweeted recently that actually with the money he spent, he could have given every American $1 million.
I've got it. Let's put it up on the screen. When I read it tonight on social media, it kind of all became clear. Bloomberg spent $500 million on ads. U.S. population 327 million. Don't tell us if you're ahead of us on the math. He could have given each American $1 million and have had lunch money left over. It's an incredible way of putting it.
It's an incredible way of putting it. It's true. It's disturbing.
It's true. Yeah. It'd be true if America's population was 327, not 327 million. These are the people who think they're your moral and intellectual superiors, and they're idiots. Why don't we now check in on how a COVID-conscious person travels? For some people, it's always March 2020.
How I travel as a COVID-conscious person. First, I use Covixyl nasal spray before going to the airport, and I mask in the Uber, of course, and I always mask in the airport. When I get on the plane, I wipe down as much as I can with Clorox wipes, and I use my Pure Enrichment air purifier for the plane. I wait a little bit to eat after everyone else gets their snacks, and I plan to do as much of my activities outside as possible. When I get home, I wear a mask and test a few days in a row, and that is that.
Okay. Lefties losing it. Out there losing their marbles, blowing their man ponds out. Klaus Daniels, I gave you treats before the live, buddy. You're doing so much. You want attention? Here you go. Ugh. Say hello. You just got that blank stare. Look at his big hands. All right, you go hang out over here. You hang out. I'm gonna get him his own light so you guys can see him because I know you can't see him at all. Right here. I'll get him his own light though. Let me see if I can. Let me show you some proof here. Hold up, buddy. Yeah, see, there is stuff here. You can't tell. All right, you got to go. Get your butthole off me. You gonna do that right in front of everybody? Now they all know you put your butthole on me. Anyways, reading through. Hold on, let me tell you what's coming up next. I know the suspense is killing you. Next up, we got Touchdown Timmy, accused of inappropriate relationship with students. Now, before we get into that, I got to give you guys a reminder because I haven't been giving you any reminders because I've just been having too much fun today. Well, I was having a bad day until I got here with all of you guys, like every day. You guys are the best. Now, before we get any further, I want to remind you guys really quick, if you would like to join the membership program over on Rumble, all you have to do is click that big red subscribe button right below where you type in the chat. Now, if you're on Android and you're using the Rumble app, you're unable to see that big red subscribe button. So go to rumble.com, come to the live, hop in the chat. And like I said, right below where you type in the chat, you will see that big red subscribe button. Click that button and jump through the hoops, and your name will be highlighted as an official Rumble hooligan. You'll have access to our custom emojis. We have chapstick emojis, scream and goat emojis, Klaus Daniels emojis, President Trump emojis, and more. It's a lot of fun during the live, especially during a Trump live. So definitely go join the membership program over on Rumble. Like I said, next up we got Tim Walz. He's being accused by one of his students, which this individual is now a grown person because this incident happened in the 90s. Supposedly, hasn't been confirmed yet. But like I said, it is titled Touchdown Timmy Accused of Inappropriate Relationship with His Student. It's coming up next, but first we're going to read through the chat, see what you hooligans think about Lefties losing it. RK, Klaus Flash and the Starfish. I know, I didn't even charge you guys for that. That's a freebie right there. Guess Democrats in camps. Yeah, I don't know why they say that. Like President Trump hasn't already been in office. Tin Man, bitch lost her mind. I know, she went out there and I hope they called the police on her. Not that the police would do anything, because they don't fucking do anything these days, I guess. But that's vandalism. It's destruction of personal property, or even business property. I don't think it was worth more than $100, so they wouldn't be able to charge her with a felony, but they would be able to charge her with a misdemeanor. If it happened in California, apparently they don't arrest people for misdemeanors, but she would be summoned to court and be cited a ticket, and her life would get a little bit harder, which is her own fault. She made bad decisions, and so hopefully the people at that coffee shop or wherever that was actually held that woman accountable, because not only did she do that and then realized that she's the biggest dumbass standing on the block, but then she turned around and posted it on her social media as if it was something to still be proud of. She should be held accountable, and maybe she wouldn't be so excited about her own wrongdoings, you know? Happy freedom to you, Tin Man. I kept trying to say it and I get sidetracked and stuff. Appreciate you being here. And I seen you got the Forerunner back on the road. Glad to hear it. I want to get me a Forerunner. They're so damn expensive here, though. Guess 7 out of every 5 Democrats are dumb in math. I believe it. I believe it. Guess J Spray, how can you be so about a movement and not know the Israeli flag? Yeah, J Spray. I didn't realize it was a Greek flag. I thought it was just decoration. You know, like just designs on decoration. I have seen videos where, well, like Culver's, right? If you've ever been to Culver's, I love Culver's. But if you go there, a lot of their branding is in blue and white. It's just the way they made it, right? But lefties see that stuff and they're like, oh, these are Israel supporters. Like, I don't know. They just live so close-minded. You know, they get those blinders on. And they're just living in tunnel vision. It's the fentanyl. You know, it's the fentanyl that makes them that way. Hair Juicer, the School of Chiropractic is right next to me. They were super weird. I believe you, Hair Juicer. Anybody that's some sort of doctor is pretty weird. Anybody that like touches humans for a living, whether you sticking your hands in their mouth or in their chest or whatever you're doing, they're usually pretty weird. Yeah, Bobby the meth. Yeah, it's the meth that makes them all, you know, lefties like that. U-Hill, the lady wrecked the flags at the restaurant. Should have gotten some discipline, 100%. I agree, U-Hill. Now, I understand why the employees didn't do anything. You know, it's not their business. They're getting minimum wage and whatever. But they should have at least called the police. You know, they should have attempted to hold that woman accountable. For sure. Gidgy, don't trust modern medicine. Yeah. I got a bad stomach. Anytime I take any kind of medicine, it makes me super sick. Supia, Obama and Biden are plotting something. They were talking about how Joe is a stronger candidate than Kamala, and Obama was ensuring Joe, there's still time. Time for what? Shit's going to be interesting. Zupia, I wonder I wonder if I have the video that you're talking about. I have a funny version of it, but I wonder if the non-funny version is exactly what you're talking about. You'll have to let me know when we get to the funny video of the day. It's not too far from now. You Hill, nobody gives me the raspberry. What does that mean? What are you talking about? You talking about the chocolate starfish? Josh, how is it not a hate crime? What do you mean? The tearing down the flags? I don't know. I don't know if that's a hate crime or not. It depends. I think it depends because technically it's not a flag. An actual flag has stitching. If it doesn't have stitching, it is a representation of a flag. So like if I have a t-shirt, where's my bandana? I got a bandana that's got a flag on it. Well, like this, okay? How come I can, throw this on the ground if it's got the American flag on it? Like the stars are up here. It's because it's not actually a flag. If it had stitching on it, it would be. But because it doesn't have stitching, it's not held to the flag laws. Therefore, it's probably not connected to hate crime, stuff like that either, because it's not an actual flag. Kicks, did you see all the people that are doing their early voting in Georgia? It's epic. I think I did. It's like long, long lines. And hopefully all of them are voting for President Trump. Because we need it. We don't just want it. We need it bad. Pumpkin Klaus said, who are you guys? Nah, he knows who you guys are. He knows. He was trying to find commies in the chat. That's what he was looking at. He was like, I see you fed boys. He's like, I ain't scared. Elisa, he said, what you doing, Dad? Nah, he knows. I'm sitting here screaming at the TV. He knows what's going on. He knows what time it is. What's really funny is he does a lot of talking, and then as soon as I'm live, he's just silent. He's got to know. There's something telling him that I am interacting with other people. Era 16, happy freedom to you. Coffee with Jeff is my therapy. You Hooligans are my therapy. By far. Gidgy, Klaus Sweet Cat, he is. He's a good boy. He's a good boy. Matthew, the IQ of a fish, for real. Kevin, some guy had a prophecy about the end of America. He said there would be 3 presidents at the end. Weird. If you figure out who said that, or if you can find a video or something, post it on Discord and tag me in it. Or, send it to me or something like that so I can check it out. Wayward Trump Parade next Saturday, Cincinnati, Ohio, Interstate 275. There's a Facebook page if anyone is interested. It's always fun. Thank you for letting us know, Wayward. Sounds like a good time. Yeah, cash flow. I know. Everybody's pretty sick of those idiots on the left there. And like President Trump was saying yesterday, I had put some videos up. President Trump was saying, it ain't the border crossers we're going to have to worry about on election day. He's like, it's the damn lefties. Those are going to be the ones that are losing their minds. I seen a post earlier today. I'm trying to think who it was. Someone on X. And it might have been the Hodge twins. And they were like, they're not going to let Trump win and just ride off into the sunset. And I was like, no. It's going to be, we're going to watch Antifa come back. Because they've been kind of here and there, little blips, really small numbers. 2-3 people here and there for the last couple of years. President Trump wins. Between November 6th and Inauguration Day, we're going to watch Antifa reactivate. I'm calling it now. We're going to see fire in the streets like we haven't seen in years. I don't think it's going to be 2020 level. I don't think we're going to see George Floyd level riots. I think something crazy would have to happen to see that level of violence again. But I think they will be back, and I think things will be stupid in between President Trump winning the election and being inaugurated. Cash flow. I feel like if Trump wins, that Biden and Harris isn't going to hand over the power to Trump. They claim Biden claimed that he would peacefully transfer power. But we'll see. Because President Trump never conceded. He never conceded at the end of 2020. He just walked away. But he didn't actually concede. And so we'll see how things actually go, when we get there. What's up, Lisa? Happy freedom. Lisa, you're voting tomorrow? That's badass. I can't wait to vote. We didn't got much time left. Let me see. Less than 3 weeks. 2 days less than 3 weeks. It'll be November 5th. Chris, who's winning in the polls? President Trump is. But the polls are manipulated, so I just look at it like a grain of salt. What's up, Jay Blazer? Happy freedom. Lisa, hard to believe these 4 years of shit is almost over. Well, it's not time to relax yet. We got to get him in the Oval Office. And not only is things dangerous for President Trump, imagine what's going to happen when he wins the election, right? Because he's not even going to be in office yet. There's like months, like 2 months or something that we got to wait between him winning and actually being in charge. And as much danger as he's in now, I have feelings that he's going to be in a lot more danger if he, wins and then we're waiting for inauguration. But that's why they've been saying that he's currently receiving presidential level security, and at that level he has access to military power. And so he's able to be surrounded by military guys and stuff like that. And I think after he wins the election, we're going to see more military than just Secret Service and stuff, because the Democrats are already, gunning after him and stuff. When he wins this election, they're going to be losing their marbles. Mitchell, they know what they did and they know the consequences. They will never let it happen. Yeah, Mitchell, and that's what I think too. If he gets back in office, they're all about to eat shit. And so they're trying to figure out how to spin it, so it's not going to happen. What's his name? Rat Sack Skin? He was on some interview and he was talking about how they were going to interfere if President Trump won. They were going to do something to, and I can't remember what it was. They were going to do something to screw it all up. And a lot of people were talking about it. It was months ago, though. And I can't remember exactly what it was, but he's a terrible person, too. Hair Juicer. Pasider Kim. I'm probably not saying that right. Pasider Kim is an absolute prophet. He died about 15 years ago. Kim Clement. Interesting. I don't think I've heard of that person before. I'll definitely look them up after the live, though. Hair Juicer. Nah, the Palmers were way weird. They claimed to prevent disease by massaging babies. Then the son killed his father with a car. Holy Hair Juicer. That is totally crazy. Let's see here. Bobby, a nationwide power outage would do it. Well, and then that lines up with the stuff that you guys were talking about. The DOD provided documents saying that they're going to allow the government to use lethal force against Americans. And we were looking into that, and it looks like in a martial law situation, they would be able to use lethal force against us. They were just given the authority to do that. So then the question is, what would bring on martial law? Civil unrest. What would bring civil unrest? Fucking with our election. So, hoping for the best. But like I said, when we were covering all that stuff, when we were, researching it, we'll worry about that when we got the military in the streets. Until then, we got other stuff we got to worry about. Because like I said before, they don't need a piece of paper with words on it to shoot us. If they wanted to shoot us, they just do it. They don't need a piece of paper. So the paper's out there. Now we know about it. Log that in the back of the noggin. Worry about what we got in front of us. And if that day comes, we'll worry about it then. So let's get into this next one. This is Touchdown Timmy accused of inappropriate relationship with student.
Surprise just dropped.
All right. Now, I can never remember this guy's name, but he does a ton of research on stuff, especially ingredients in food. Food, shampoo, all kinds of stuff. He does all kinds of stuff. He's very interesting, and I can't ever remember his damn name. And I would just look, but somebody else posted this video. But either way, if you see this guy on the internet, he's on TikTok, he's on X, and I'll try and find the name for you guys. I want to say it's Chris or something like that. But either way, he does tons of research. He's a pretty cool guy to follow and whatnot if you like research and details and whatnot. So anyways, he found some dirt on Tim Walz, or he came across somebody that is receiving emails from supposed students that were treated inappropriately by Tim Walz. Now, this individual, he has gathered a bunch of information. He's going to summarize it for us. So let's get into this.
Dude, the new October surprise just dropped, and it's pretty awkward for Democrats right now. If you haven't heard the news, I'm about to summarize the allegations being made against Tim Walz for rampant SA against minor students at the schools where he worked. And I say it's getting awkward because we just went through multiple years of believe every victim that accused Trump of literally everything under the sun with very little evidence to corroborate it. And these claims against Walz have not been corroborated yet in a major way, but at the end, you'll see why I think we're about to find out. And personally, I don't think it's looking good for Tim. Now, the story is being broken by DocNet YouTube on X, and this is entirely credit to his work, his ongoing work with child victims, and he's the one that's receiving these emails. He's the one that's publishing them. Go follow him on X. And it started on August 1st of this year when he received an email that said, "Hi, Doc. He was a teacher of mine at Alliance High School in Nebraska." This person said that because of Doc's work with child trafficked children, that's why he reached out to Doc. He says that Walz manipulated him, did unspeakable things to me. I can give you details that nobody else can, including later on specific details about tattoos and scars that Walz apparently has on his body in places that you would only know about if you had been intimate. But we'll get there in a minute, and I'm going to try to make this video at least Instagram friendly, although I'm not going to be posting it to TikTok. So I'm going to let you pause and read between the lines if you want to know all the details that this says. But this kid alleges, not a kid anymore, this is back in the 90s, but they allege they were 14 years old when they met Tim Walz. Then describes what can only be described as grooming in a major way, including being invited to a Indigo Girls concert by his teacher, by his assistant coach. Allegedly, it was just this young boy and Tim Walz at the concert, and then major grooming ensues. Then the spice happens at the end. Overwhelmingly tired from the drinks, maybe, who knows. And then they drive home. And this whole email is like the spicy details about what apparently allegedly happened on the first outing with Tim Walz. I'll summarize it for you. You can screenshot and wait and look if you want, but basically Tim Walz took him to a gay bar allegedly, and then drove him home allegedly, though he doesn't remember that part. And then he sort of comes to while receiving that from Tim, allegedly. And this was just the start of a long, I would continually meet Mr. Walz during 1995. Spent a lot of time with him whenever I could. Can't remember the exact dates. We probably had 10 to 12 sexual encounters. More details to come. The student makes allegations about why Tim Walz was actually fired from his job at that school. And Doc has corroborated in the official records that there's some fishy business about Tim Walz's voluntary leaving of the school, meaning there was like a DUI involved, and the school board voted unanimously 6-0 to kick Tim Walz out. And then just this morning, this alleged victim released a legal statement basically saying that they're gonna also go after this whole thing with the full force of the law. They're gonna go public. So far, they've just been leaking information to Doc on X. It's gonna blow up way bigger than that. Doc just posted this from the accuser this morning. They include that this is one of the students that accompanied Tim Walz and others on his trip to China. When Tim Walz received his DUI, it was after an evening spent with this accuser. This whole paragraph is kind of interesting in its implications, if true. And then here are the special details about Tim Walz's body that you would only know if you had been intimate. And so if these details are true, then yeah. That includes a raised scar on his chest, a Chinese symbol tattoo on his upper thigh, a small scar on his left arm that was more like a soft burn. Yeah, anyways, this is just getting started. It's all breaking day by day by day right now on X, which is where actual news is happening today. If you're not already there, highly recommend you go there because everything else is just reporting about what's happening there. I'm not even allowed to post this video in most places because censorship. So like my TikTok audience, not even gonna see this video. They're gonna have no idea. But that's the state of play at this point in the election. And to be honest, when I look at him, it kind of fits the bill. I am not that surprised if this is true.
So like he's saying, he expects more to come out, more information like this, and we will see. I did find the guy's name. It's Ian. This is what his X looks like, his X account. He has almost 1 million followers on here. He's on TikTok and all kinds of stuff. He goes by the name Cancel This Company on a lot of different platforms, but here his name is listed as Ian Carroll. But like I said, he does a ton of research on interesting things. So I check his stuff out every once in a while, and ironically, I was looking up inappropriate, how do I want to say this? Tim Walz having inappropriate relationships with his students, and Ian popped up. And so I was like, well, let's check his stuff out because I know he does a lot of research, and that's what I found. So if more information comes out, we will absolutely cover it. But it appears that Tim Walz is worse than just the horse drinker that we know he is. Next up, we have Harris caught in a gotcha moment during her interview. And then after that, we have JD Vance gives his opinion on Harris's Fox News interview. We might play those back to back. We'll see. But either way, we're going to read through the chat really quick. See what you hooligans think about those accusations against Tim Walz. Kung Fu, he's a creeper. Yes. Yes. Tim Walz is the creeper. Hillian, hey teacher, leave those horses alone. I'm pretty sure that's how it was sung. I'm pretty sure. That was the unedited version. Pumpkin, Walz seems the sort we don't want. Oh, absolutely, Pumpkin. Yeah, those are terrible accusations, and they're very detailed. Kevin, nay means nay, Tim. That's, I mean, yeah. Yeah. You hooligans are hilarious. My goodness. Jab, they are sick. Absolutely. And happy freedom to you, Jab. Yeah, you got to be, there's got to be something wrong with him to be doing that. And that's what I'm saying. You want that guy paddling your kids? You want to sign off permission so he can paddle your kids? Because he was a teacher and a coach. I don't want that guy, you know, doing stuff like that to anybody. He's a bad guy. Bobby pervert, yeah. Status quo, Walz probably has a tramp stamp tattoo of a tampon. A tampon, a horse with a tampon in it. Ah, see, it's getting worse. Just stop me now. Just stop me now. You Hillian, I bet one of Walz's tattoos is a horse. Guarantee it. Kung Fu, this is the shit that makes me rage. Yeah. That's why I don't trust schools. It's stuff like that right there. Kung Fu, Tim probably has gay tats. Ah, he probably does. He's got a rainbow and all that. What's up, Santam? Happy freedom to you. What's up, Master Meatball? Happy freedom to you. Status quo Walz. I swear I was just helping the horse over the fence. Mm-hmm. It's not what it looked like. Jeb, king of the creepers. He's trying. He's trying to win a race that is terrible. Cashflow, we cannot allow these people to get into office. Absolutely, Cashflow. Every day, we're showing motivation to get out there November 5th and vote for the Orange Eagle so we don't have to live with these creepers out here. What's up, Southern Eagleman? Happy freedom to you. Jay Blazer. So, Elmer Fudd Walz is into the Indigo Girls? Seems completely normal. Yeah. That guy's a weirdo of the weirdos. David. Did he endorse Biden and Harris? I believe it. He's probably buddies with Walz, too. Mitchell, pull my string 2024. No. We need to cut that out. The October surprise. Walz being thrown under the bus. Snooks, sometimes you can just tell by the face and eyes and mannerisms that they're pervs. Yeah, Snooks, because they're weirdos and they're trying to pretend to be normal, while all the rest of us, well, most of us are as normal as we can be. We come in different shapes, sizes, flavors, and whatnot, but those are weirdos. Those kind of people are weirdos. They are so far from normal that even when they pretend to be normal, they're not convincing anybody. Jay Spray, did the Dems even know anyone who isn't a pedo? I don't think so, Jay Spray. I'm pretty sure you got to be a kid fucker if you're going to, be a Democrat. I think it's part of the deal. Now, I don't know if it's everybody that votes for Democrats is also in that boat, but I'm pretty sure if you're a Democrat leader, you got children locked in your basement. I mean, it ain't my fault that they walk around like that. That's it. How many times do we got to see it before that's just all you think? Democrat leaders must have children in their basements. I'm like, I don't know. All right, hooligans. I think we're going to get into this next one. But first, I got to give you guys a reminder because I forgot. If you'd like to participate in Free Speech Saturday, make sure you post all of your memes over on Discord or jeffmaclive.com. Just hop in the group chats on either platform. You'll see the tabs labeled memes. Drop what you got and we'll shout you out as we're making Saturdays more fun. We're going to get into this next video here. This is Harris just flopping her interview with Fox. Let me see. We'll play both of these back to back. And then we have one more piece of news, and then we have two funny videos of the day. So this next one is Harris caught in a gotcha moment during her interview. And then afterwards, we're going to hear from J.D. Vance giving his opinion on how Harris did. Now, as I said earlier, today I watched the majority of this interview. The interview was only 28 minutes long. Never seen President Trump do an interview that short. That guy, he's an hour or longer. Harris was just dodging everything. Everything this guy said to her, she didn't have an answer. She just wanted to give a speech. He's like, you like salt on your fries? And she's like, well, this one time, blah, 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 blah. And just wants to start telling a story. So he just interrupts her. And he kept interrupting her. And I think he was pissing her off. So either way, listening to it was a huge snooze fest. But this clip right here, she got caught in a gotcha moment. We're going to play this, and then we're going to play right afterwards J.D. Vance giving his opinion on how the whole interview went. So let's get into this. Once again, this is Harris caught in a gotcha moment during her interview. Let's get this rolling. Don't forget, hit that like button over on Rumble.
You call Donald Trump, he's misguided. You say now
he's unstable. He is unstable, Brett.
He's not well. You say he's mentally not stable.
He's not stable.
Let me ask you this. You told many interviewers that Joe Biden was on his game, that ran around circles on his staff. When did you first notice that President Biden's mental faculties appeared diminished? You call Donald Trump.
Yes. Big old gotcha moment. She didn't have anything to say. I found the original clip too just to see what happened next. she sat there for a whole second trying to figure out what to say because she didn't have it. And she had those damn earrings in again. And like I've been saying, I pretty much debunked her having the Bluetooth earring stuff. But for somebody it's so stylish and she can afford $15,000 earrings or how much ever they are, why does she only wear them when she's doing interviews and debates? Kind of suspicious. Anyways, we're going to get into this next video. Like I said, this is JD Vance giving his opinion on her interview, which she did terrible. Anyways, let's get into this.
Guys, the thing that I found just so bizarre about Kamala Harris's entire interview, 25 minutes of a person who couldn't answer a direct question. How many illegal immigrants have come in? She didn't answer that question. What are we turning the page on? She goes and talks about Donald Trump, who, of course, hasn't been in office for the past 3.5 years. Kamala Harris has been. What I saw as a person who not just didn't have the skill to navigate a tough interview, but doesn't know how to explain her record, because her record is not possible to explain away to the American people. And so she dipped and dodged questions for 25 minutes. That's not leadership, and that's not contrition. And I think the American people would like to see from their vice president an acknowledgement that she screwed up. It's why we have so many of these problems. Real leadership would be promising a new course and acknowledging while the old course didn't work. You know, guys, the thing that I...
JD Vance smoking her, letting her have it. I like JD Vance. Next up, we have the last little bit of our news. I've titled it, remember when I was telling you guys that the elderly are being taken advantage of when it comes to voting? Well, we got a little clip of it here. Now, when I originally brought that up, we were talking about old folks' homes and how the nurses go in there and they coerce all these old people to vote for who they want. And in some situations, they do the voting themselves. They go in, old folks home person, you know, like it's nurses and stuff. So they go to like person A. Person A is nonverbal, right? They got something going on. They're on their way out. Severely elderly, lots of health problems, maybe hooked up to machines. They walk in, they're like, oh, you're voting for Harris? Eyelid just twitches a little bit. They're like, yep, you're voting for Harris. Write it down. And then all these old folks' homes, like I'm saying, 100 people in, that's 100 votes for Harris. And that's how these people are doing it. Well, this clip, I don't think it's a nurse. I think it's a relative. But it is a severely elderly person who you can tell is kind of out of the loop on things. They're just hanging on to the last little bit of life they got left. And somebody is coercing them to vote for who that person wants that elderly person to vote for, which is obviously wrong. It should be illegal. I mean, but at the same time, if it was illegal, we'd be taking away the opportunity for those people to vote. So it's a slippery slope, but it's definitely evil. It's morally wrong to coerce elderly people, you know, to vote in this kind of manner. So anyways, this is what's coming up next. But first, we're going to read through the chat, see what you hooligans think about Harris's little interview clip there we played, as well as JD Vance's opinion of how she did. RK, MSNBC is nothing but a Trump hate fest. Yeah, those people are just cynical. They're just gross people over there. Snugs, effing Harris is like a caught fish, flip-flopping all over the grass. Yeah, Snugs. Harris, she's lost this. I don't know how people are voting for her. I just don't get it. They must not watch her. They must just be like, I'm going to vote for that person, but I'm not going to listen to him at all. I just like the way they look from a distance, and that's good enough for me. Like, otherwise, I don't know how anybody could hear her speak and then be like, yeah, that's the person I'm voting for. It's got to be never Trumpers. Never Trumpers got to be the only people that are voting for Harris, because any thinking human being would know that she's not the right answer. Hair Juicer, are you getting the Warner Brother frog person? I can't think what the frog's name is. Are you getting that tatted? Hair Juicer, what is going on at the local ice cream shop? Holy crap, that chick is hot. Turns around. Good God, what the fuck is that? And why does it have children? Holy Hair Juicer. I don't know. I'd be just leaving people alone. I don't trust anybody at this point. RK, I don't understand why anyone interviewing her Doesn't just slap her and say, answer the damn question. Yeah, RK, and he was kind of running her over. Like you could see in that little clip, they were just talking all over each other. Because she just provides word salad. She might as well wear a hostess outfit or a waitress outfit, because that's all she's serving is word salads all day. And then the interviewer, he's like, I ain't got time for your nonsense. I'm here for answers and you ain't providing them, so we'll just go on to the next question. And when I was watching the interview, she spent most of that interview telling him that he needs to let her finish her response. And he was like, yeah, anyways, and started like going on to the next question there. She's so toast. Hair juicer, yeah, Michael or Michigan J Frog is funny as hell, and yeah, I want that demon tattooed. Well, where are you thinking about getting it, hair juicer? Because when I saw it, I was thinking it might be like a leg tattoo, like side of the calf muscle or something. But where are you thinking about getting it? Not a face tattoo, I'll tell you that. That's not face tattoo material. Not that one. Hey, thank you for being here, Dan, and please be safe out there. Those crazies, they're out there. Santam, Scamilla is unburdened by intelligence. Yeah, for real. You're not wrong. She sleeps like a baby at night because there ain't nothing going on in that noggin. Amarain, she started yelling at him like he was her kid, screaming like a banshee. It was super cringe. It did not promote any respect to me for her. Yeah, Amarain. She's not a nice lady. She's not a classy lady, like not at all. Kevin, 3 tattoos is enough for me. Well, everyone's got their number. Santam, TDS is like the dark side of the Force. Yeah. Well, they didn't tell you that in Star Wars though. Like you knew about the Sith and all the, the people on that side, on the dark side. You didn't know that they had kids in their basements and stuff. Like, you didn't realize that when you're watching it. Now you're an adult and you're like, oh, that's the Empire? Like, oh. Yeah, Kevin, it is a sin to get tattoos. There's no way to justify a tattoo. Trump girl, I'm going to vote right after this live. That's badass, and happy freedom to you, Trump girl. That's awesome. I'm looking forward to voting. Can't wait. Jeb, many people will vote for her just because she is a she. Yeah. And that's so ironic considering the left doesn't even know what a woman is, but now they're going to vote for the woman because she's a woman. Like, how does that even make sense? They're over there talking about being non-binary. Now they're going to vote for the woman because she's a woman. I don't get it. I don't get it. Zupia, JD is always on the money. I'll be sad to see Trump go in 4 years, but it would be great to see JD take that Trump energy into 2028. I agree, Zupia. I think if JD Vance keeps kicking ass like he is, he's got a real shot at 2028. I think he's doing fantastic right now, and as long as he keeps rolling like that, I think he's got a real shot at it. He might even turn around and make Eric or Don Jr. his VP, or vice versa may happen. I mean, you never know. But I don't think MAGA is going to be over. I was thinking that before, but now that I've seen more of how Eric Trump handles things and seen quite a bit more of how Don Jr. gets down, I don't think MAGA is over. I think it's going to be keeping on rolling. Master Meatball, my mother passed in September. How do I check if she voted? Well, I'm sorry to hear that, Master Meatball. Look at the government websites. I recently went to a Michigan website because that's where I am, and I just simply Googled it. I was like, how do I verify that I voted or I'm registered to vote? It depends what you're looking for. And there's official websites, like government websites. It's kind of like the Secretary of State, or some states call it the DMV. It's kind of like that website. It's kind of a clunky MySpace looking shithole. But you'll type in information. It'll be a .gov website, and it will tell you if you voted. And I assume it'll tell you who you voted for and stuff like that, because I remember people being encouraged to go see who they voted for, like verify who they voted for back in 2022 when we did the midterms, and people were seeing like inaccuracies. Like they voted, but then they went to verify it, and their vote wasn't counted for whatever reason. Something was wrong with the ballot or they didn't sign it. That's how they get most of us, is you got to sign your ballot. On the bottom, there should be like a signature thing. And if you don't sign it, it's not legit. And they'll just throw it out. And you'll be walking around with I voted sticker thinking you voted, and they actually threw your ballot out and didn't count it because you never signed it. So make sure you like do everything you're supposed to do. And a lot of times those people at the voting booth, like where they give you your ballot or whatever, they don't want to help you do shit. I've asked them for help before and they're like, well, you got to do it. Yeah, I can't help you do it. You got to do it. And it's like, okay, but I don't know what the fuck this is. I'm like, I didn't go to school for this. I don't know what I'm looking at. And they're like, nope, you got to figure it out. And it's like, okay. So yeah, don't expect help out of those people, but there should be a website where you can validate it. Reading through. Zeus Buddha guy said that Walz looks like mashed potatoes in a hat. Not wrong. Not wrong. I think he looks just like the Heat Miser. Looks just like him. And I couldn't even remember who he was. I saw Walz and I was like, he looks like this image in my head from this claymation that I used to watch when I was a young lad. And I went and looked and looked and looked. And I typed in like, you know, like, I can't remember what year it was. It's like the old Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, the old Frosty the Snowman movie where they were claymations. I knew it was like in there somewhere. For like an hour, I was deep diving trying to figure it out. The Heat Miser. Walz looks just like the Heat Miser. Lisa just dropping the ass cheeks in the chat. You guys crack me up. Sage Pup, you're omnipresent. Appreciate you. I think Ashley changed her name to Jennifer because it's the same exact format. When they come and post this propaganda in the chat, it's the same exact format. And I think it's because I was calling Ashley out that the only reason I'm allowing that troll to exist on YouTube is so we can watch them cry on Inauguration Day. And so that sissy went and changed their name to something else. But because of the way our brains work, when we communicate, we only have so much variables to write because we were only taught to read and write the way we learned it. So you can't stray away from that too far. And the way that this is wrote, it's wrote by the same person. And so I'm glad that sissy's right here because I can't wait to watch him cry on Inauguration Day. That's my pet troll on YouTube. So say hello to my pet troll over there. Yeah, here, Juicer. I mean, I think it'd be all right on the side of the leg. If you got space for it. It depends. What are you going to write around it? Is it going to have text or anything around it, or is it just going to be the frog? We're going to get into this next video here. It's a short one. It's titled, Remember I was telling you guys about the elderly being taken advantage of when it comes to voting. Now this is so wrong, but it's happening everywhere. It's not just happening in homes. We'll play this in full screen. It's not just, because like in this, you can see in the image, I can't tell if it's a house or if they're in an old folks home. I believe these two are related to each other. This buffalo standing over this poor elderly woman is some sort of relative, not a nurse. But this same action that we're about to watch happens in old folks' homes across the nation, and it is wrong. And it needs awareness. That's what it really needs. But either way, let's get into this sad story, and we got funny videos coming up next.
Okay, Grandma, do you want to vote for the first black woman president ever? Yeah. Okay, she's a Democrat too. Okay, so I'll show you where to write. Keep the pen in your hand, and it's right here. Good job, Grandma. You got to vote for the first woman president.
Harris.
Kamala Harris.
Grandma doesn't know what she ate for breakfast this morning. And they got her out here voting, pushing their agenda. That's what they're doing. They look at humans like dispensable beings. They're just like, oh, you're my grandma? No, you're not. You're one extra vote for Harris. That's what you are. Like, it's so wrong. That stuff is so wrong. Anyways, I know that's a terrible way to end the news, but that's why we got the funny video, so don't you worry. Next up, we have Joe's having a hard time accepting Kamala's downfall. And then our official funny video of the day is titled, "And This Is Why People Say Fuck the Government." Both those are coming up next, but first, we're going to read through the chat, see what you hooligans think about these bastards out here coercing elderly to vote for who they think should win the election. Zero, they look at us like cattle, disposable. Yeah, and it's terrible. RK, this is fucking disgusting. Yeah, absolutely. It's like I said, it's morally wrong. It is disturbing to see people pushing elderly like that just to try and benefit, and it's disgusting. Just like RK said, it's disgusting. Hair juicer, just the frog. Let me think on it for a little bit, because it could be a funny, like, hip tattoo. Like, you get it on your waistline, maybe on the right side, like to the right of your belly button or something. Could be kind of a funny thing, and it's easier to show off to people. But like I said, on the outside of your calf, could be okay. Get the frog there, like up on the meatier side, like below the knee on the side there. I'm trying to think. Those seem like the best spots to me, but let me think on it for a little bit. Snooks, but the woman you cha-cha with won't like it. She will if he sells it to her good enough. I've seen women be in perfect relationships with a perfect man that would give them everything they want, vacations, free money, wear whatever, be whatever, do whatever, and they'll still go cheat on them with some lowlife that lives in the basement with their mom, has no aspirations, and smells like shit all day. It just depends on how smooth of a talker you are. That seems to be it. All you gotta do is sell her the right way. So don't you worry, hair juicer. Don't you let her talk you out of that tattoo. You'll be all right. If you want it, it's up to you. Your body, right? Your body, your rights. You tell him. Snooks. Hair juicer wants to get Snooks tattooed on his ass cheek. Well, don't talk him out of that. I mean, hell, that's awesome. That is awesome. Here, juicer, I'll just put it with the frog. Everyone's going to think the frog's name is Snooks. That is so funny. So funny. Kevin, if I'm cattle, does that mean I can poop where I want? Well, yeah, Kevin, they don't let you poop where you want over there. We're going to have to come liberate you, Kevin. Bobby on his face. No, we're not doing not the frog. We could find some sort of tats that'd be cool for the face, but not the frog. Tool to care should be a law. If you wear Depends, no vote. See, but I feel bad thinking about taking the right to vote away from elderly people. They've been here their whole life. They've contributed to society, or at least we hope so. You know, they had these. We don't take their driver's license away. How about that? We take their driver's license away, we'll start talking about taking their right to vote away. Because there's some people out there that should not be driving. They're way too old. They got glasses that are this thick. They can't see over the steering wheel and stuff. They're putting everybody in danger. We don't take their driver's license away. So I don't think we should take the right to vote away. But something needs to be done. Because what we just witnessed is wrong. That stuff is wrong. So, I mean, something needs to be done. But I'm not a big fan of taking people's freedoms away. Stoner, I want to get a tattoo of a childhood picture of me on a milk carton. Stoner, I want that tattoo also. I just don't have pictures of me as a child because no one ever took pictures of me as a child. So as far as everyone's concerned, I've been 17 or older because I didn't have pictures of me until I started taking them. Kevin, I have a dream. You can poop where you want. Crack me up. Amarane, I have family that if they were in charge of my elderly grandma, they would steal all of her money. My sister and I are always on the watch. Amarane, I know exactly what you're talking about. My grandpa, before he died, a lot of people were getting excited. And it was really weird because they were all like, oh, he's going to die soon. I hope I'm in the will. I hope I'm getting some money. I hope I get the house on the lake. Blah, blah. And I'm like, I just want my grandpa. Like, I don't want him to die. He's my whole life. And people are, they're cynical. They see people as like property, like, you know, self-benefit. That's how they see them. And it's gross. It's gross when people get like that. What's up, Enter User? Happy Freedom. You're building a new cabin? That sounds badass. Trump girl, my friend fell 3 weeks ago and had a terrible brain bleed. He can't remember hardly anything, and he loves Trump, but it would be wrong for me to vote for him like that. Yeah, Trump girl. Yeah, that's a really tough situation. Kevin, how is that not voter fraud? I mean, it's something. It's something because obviously Granny doesn't know what's going on. And so for that lady to be like grabbing her hand and forcing her to do whatever, that's wrong. Like Granny can't read the page over. Granny's over here doing this, right? She's over here scribbling a bubble. She can't read the page. What just happened was that's wrong. You know, that's wrong. Josh, that's like the woman who took the dead body to the bank. I'm trying to think. Try to play it off to like sign to get money out of the bank and stuff like that. You know what it makes me think of? Sometimes people do that to their kids that have special needs and stuff like that. They use their children or relatives with special needs to either coerce them or force them to do something that they don't quite understand what's happening, and the person forcing them is just looking at the benefit. They're just, you know, it's evil. That's real evil right there. Trump girl abuse. These people should go to jail. Absolutely. Absolutely. You Hill dropping the boobies in the chat. Very nice. Kevin, I heard they are bringing gargoyles and biker mice from Mars back. Well, they can't be worse than the damn Democrats, I'll tell you that. Giggling by the Burgermeister. Hold on, let me see what this is. This is going to be like a porno or something. Oh, I don't know what this is. Oh, he does kind of look like the Meisterburger. That's what's popping up is Meisterburger. Burgermeister is a restaurant, I guess. I mean, I'm getting a lot of different results here. He does look like the Meisterburger. I wonder if it... Hold on, let me pull these up side to side because we're at the end of the live anyway. All we got is the funny stuff left. So let me pull these up side to side and we'll let you guys judge. Talking about Tim Walz's look-alike. Come on, come on. Very similar. All right. So on the right is the Meiserburger, and on the left, with the red, fiery Super Saiyan hair, that's the Heat Miser. It's close. It both looks like Tim Walz. When you merge them together, they become Tim Walz. That's what happened. I think we got to the bottom of it. I think we got that figured out. What's up, 5D? Happy freedom to you. Giggling Spy, was that right? Was that the one you were talking about? Kung Fu, money has destroyed many families. So sad. It's not money. It's not the money's fault. It's the love for money. Same situation with guns. Guns don't kill people. People kill people. It's not the money's fault. It's the love for money. People sell their soul for it. Santam, my daughter wrote a school report on how anyone over retirement age should have to take the driving exam every year. I agree, Santam. I bet that report's awesome. Pumpkin, but we let the Haitians drive. I didn't let those Haitians drive. They should have had to go through driver's training and stuff. It's obvious. Zoo Spook, gross. Both the woman and the action. Yeah. Yeah, that buffalo over there trying to, well, not trying to, successfully coerced her grandma into voting for Harris. Lisa, you just going all out. Got the boobs and the wiener in the chat. Dropping trans emojis. Gonzo, oh my god. It is a crime to poop not in a toilet. Well, I'm trying to think who said that. I think it was Kevin. They're not in America. They got different laws they got to worry about. In California, you can poop wherever you want to. Sidewalk, street, neighbors. I mean, it's up to you in California. It depends where you are. Brooklyn, my mom is in hospice and asked me to get her a ballot. Yeah. Well, there ain't nothing wrong with that. We're talking about people doing morally wrong things, you know. Sage Pup, talking about Jennifer Williams right there. That's my pet troll. It went by Ashley somebody else, but they had a name change. They probably changed their gender too, but that's okay. They're just here to laugh at. That's my lefty losing it right there. I'm just laying claim on them. I hope they like it. I hope they like it a lot. All right, let me see what we got here. Did I grab the wrong link? I think I did. All right, hold on a second. I got to find the funny video of the day because I actually accidentally grabbed the wrong link, but I'm sure I got it saved on here somewhere. And I got to post that video of that. Let me show you. I can show you this image. I can't because there's a fucking gun in it. Make sure you join Discord or jeffmaclive.com. I got a graphic video for you guys to watch for who may become the next George Floyd situation. I told you guys that in the beginning of the live there, but I still got to post it on Discord and on jeffmaclive.com. I will do that, and I will find their name. Their name is Sidney Wilson. BLM says Sidney Wilson was unjustly killed by racist cops. And like I said, if you join Discord or you go get yourself a membership for jeffmaclive.com, I am going to be posting the body cam footage of her last moments and why BLM is full of shit if they're really suggesting that she was unjustly killed because she was acting like a fucking banshee. But anyways, we'll worry about that later. Just make sure you join Discord or get yourself a membership for jeffmaclive.com because right now it's time for the funny stuff. This right here is titled Joe's having a hard time accepting Kamala's downfall.
So is Kamala doing okay?
Nope. She's down, Joe. I think they found out that she's retarded, and now we're basically fucked. Trump is killing us at the polls, so yes, we're going to lose Joe.
Damn it. Wait. What if I come back to run again?
As candidate?
Yeah.
Well, let me put it this way, Joe. The only person in this world who is even more retarded than Kamala Harris is basically you. So no, Joe,
on, man.
You're
Just
not going
give
back
another
yet.
shot.
Let's let it all play out. Okay, we'll talk later, Joe.
Okay.
Women looking fine up in here.
Prostitute. So is Kamala.
Oh my God. All right. And now we're going to get into our official funny video of the day. Get this pulled up really quick here. Holy, it has been a day. All right. This right here is titled, "And This Is Why People Say, Fuck the Government."
I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part. I'm doing my part. I didn't do fucking shit.
I'm doing my
Every time. Showing rubble from Hurricane Helene in the background. Government's like, I didn't do shit. Yeah, we know. We know. Well, hooligans, that is all the coffee I had for you guys today. But don't forget, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, we will be covering President Trump live in New York City today. It's going to be a good time, so hopefully I see you right here for the Trump Live. And if I don't, I will see you tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern Time, for the very next Coffee with Hooligans. I'm going to drop this link tree link to all of you guys, where all of my links are listed. So if you'd like to make donations, join membership programs, or purchase any merch, I would really appreciate it. All of your guys' contributions keep us running every day except for Sunday, because we got to have a day to recharge those batteries. Like I said, definitely go join Discord. I'm going to be dropping this body cam footage pretty soon, like as soon as I end the live. I might not even wait for the live to end. Like as soon as I'm no longer on the screen, I will be dropping the link on Discord as well as jeffmaclive.com. So go join one or the other. You can do that from the link tree. Let me see. Over on Discord, other than finding this video, it is where all the hooligans do keep the conversation going. It's our free hooligan community. We have 2 news boards to keep you up to date with everything going on around the world. Plus, it is the best way to be notified every single time we go live. You don't have to wait for 2-hour late notifications from these streaming platforms. I will notify you as soon as we kick off that live. So definitely go join Discord. If you're feeling real saucy, go join jeffmaclive.com. Over on the website, it is the best way to experience the live. Our built-in chat has more ability than any other platform. You can post memes and GIFs and custom emojis and links and all kinds of stuff right there in the chat while watching the live. You'll also have access to Hooligans Alley, which is our private social media area. It's a lot of fun. It's like X or Facebook mixed together, but there's no fact checkers, there's no crying liberals, there's no stupid shit like that. It is the way that social media is supposed to be. You'll also have access to our forums to encourage open discussion. I'm probably going to be posting about my car that pisses me off later on today, so if you'd like to join in shit on my car, we will be doing that in the forums. You'll also have access to the arcade, which is a lot of fun. It's got a lot of games and they do adapt to your phone. That way if you need to turn it sideways or whatever, it will function properly, keeping things nice and fun. Then you'll also have access to our advanced messaging system that has built-in group chats, and it gives you the ability to text each other, call each other, video call each other, group texting, group calling, group video calling, and more. Constantly working on jeffmaclive.com, making it the place to be. So definitely go get yourself a membership, because it's the home of the hooligans. We're going to read through the chat really quick, see what your hooligans thought about today's coffee. Then we will be doing the Pledge of Allegiance and wrapping things up. But like I said, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, we will be covering President Trump in New York. Let me read the title for you, because it's not a Trump rally. It is titled, Trump Addresses the Alfred E. Smith Memorial Foundation, or the Foundation Dinner. So it's some live event. President Trump seems to be a guest speaker there. That'll be pretty cool. Like I said, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Be here. I was going to say something funny, but YouTube's watching. Anyways, make sure you're here. If you're not, I will see you tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern Time, for the very next Coffee with Hooligans. Snooks, beer time tonight. Yeah, I think I got a twist of tea. I'm ready to see Mr. President Trump. Zero, that's the dinner he roasted Hillary at? Love that. Oh, man. Can't wait. Zero, you are excluded from our Fed razzing. You're a hooligan. Oh, yeah. Russell, we're not talking about you. You're not that kind of Fed boy. We're talking about the Fed boys that go and knock on people's doors to ask them what they meant by that meme they posted. You're not one of them, Russell. Matt, there's another version of that clip where they're talking about Big Mike. That's hilarious. I want to see if I can find that after the live. Thank you, AR16. Appreciate you being here. Thank you, Pumpkin. You're the bestest. Told to Carol Obama, I've never had sexual relations with that woman. Clinton, that's my line. Clinton looks terrible. He was kind of campaigning for Harris last week. He looks awful. Like just a walking corpse. Thank you, Nana. I appreciate you being here with us. Thank you, Kung Fu. Amarain, I'll give you that link to that Obama Biden video. Oh, I forgot that's the wrong link. Let me see. I'll find it really quick. Really quickly. Found it. And I got to put it on the schedule. That way it's in my receipts when I drop the receipts tomorrow. There you go, Amarain. That link will take you to the funny video with Obama and Biden. Zupia, this is the video I was referring to. The Republicans got professional lip reading to see what they were saying. They think Joe is stronger than Kamala, and there's still time. Interesting, Zupia. That's what I was saying earlier. I was wondering if it was the same video. If you find the video that you're talking about, will you post it somewhere and tag me or send it to me somehow so I can see what you're talking about? And maybe I'll show it on tomorrow's live. Kevin, has Klaus been acting weird today? Because Pepper has, and she even took off for a bit. I had to go find her. Not that I've noticed. I've been kind of running around all day, though, because I had to take the car to the shop, and then I came back, and then I pretty much started setting up the live. I was supposed to release the new shirt today. I'm sure Alistair's like, what the fuck, dude? But we will have the new shirt later. Hopefully we can release it for President Trump. Well, see, and that's the thing, is not everybody comes to watch President Trump. But either way, we do have a new Trump shirt coming out late. Yeah, we should just release it for Trump. Either way, it's going to be fantastic, okay? Alistair does great work, and our new shirt's going to be awesome. So I can't wait to show you guys. Happy Freedom SOS. Thank you for joining us. Too old to care, get some food. I will try, too old to care. Thank you. Appreciate you being here with us. Wiggly Tough, do you go out campaigning for Trump? No. I mean, this is enough campaigning. What's up, Genetic? Happy Freedom. Wiggly Tough, Clinton is a horrible man. Yeah, totally agree. Wiggly Tough, I'm not a paid up Republican, but I support Trump. Well, that's kind of how I am, Wiggly Tough. I'm not a Republican. I don't even have labels. If I have any label, I'm just the King Hooligan. I'm just an American, and I believe in what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. That's what I'm allianced with, is that, with morals. That's it. I don't have party affiliation or anything like that. I support Trump because his policies is what I want to see happen in the country. I want to see his policies come true. That's why I support President Trump. Otherwise, I'm not affiliated with any party or anything like that. Like I said, well, yeah, just saying. Sage Pup, is your birthday today? Hey Jeff, ask Snooks to have a beer for me. It's my birthday. Well, happy birthday, Sage Pup. Thank you for spending some of your birthday with us. I hope today kicks ass for you. And Snooks, you gotta drink a beer with Sage Pup. Amazing Disgrace, 100% MAGA. Yes. Happy Freedom, Amazing Disgrace. Alright, hooligans. It is that time once again. Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. Come on, microphone cable thing. Alright. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, did the thing. Like I said, oh, Snooks, please tell Sage Pup happy birthday from me, and I sure will. You guys are the best. Like I was saying, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, which is in an hour and 40 minutes from now, we will be covering President Trump live in New York City. It's going to be a good time. Probably going to be hilarious. I'm hoping he does mention something about that DOD document where they are trying to authorize lethal force against Americans in certain situations and blah, blah, blah. Maybe he'll mention it. You never know. Got to show up to see. If I don't see you tonight, I will see you tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern time for the very next Coffee with Hooligans. We're going to read through the chat really quick, just to make sure no hooligans are left behind. But then we're wrapping this up. You heal treats for Klaus. Oh yeah, he's ready for it. He's ready. Zupia, it's on Truth Social. I'll see if I can track it down, but it's also on X now. I'll find it after work for you. Thanks for your time today, as always. Well, thank you, Zupia. I appreciate you. You heal. We need a pizza donation for Jeff option. PayPal. PayPal's the best one. PayPal donations go right to me, like immediately. Any donations through the platforms take 30 days to get to me, but through PayPal, it's immediate. Or Cash App. What's up, Abusive? Happy Freedom. What's up, Kirk Allen? Happy Freedom to you. Cheeky Chops. Appreciate you being here. Thank you, Sage Pup. Hope your birthday kicks ass. Thank you, RK. All right, hooligans, like I said a million times, I will see you at 7 p.m. Eastern time-ish. As soon as the president walks on stage, we'll kick this live off. We're going to be covering him, and it's going to be a good time. If I don't see you tonight, I'll see you tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern time for the very next Coffee with Hooligans. Huge shout out to everyone that made donations, joined the membership programs, or purchased any merch. I really appreciate all of you hooligans, and I wouldn't be able to do any of this if it wasn't for you. So thank you so much for all your support. I'll see you on the next live. Until then, stand tall, shine bright, and that's a wrap.